right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are back tonight, and we are playing a favorite of ours. We're playing Electric Bastionland, but we're not just playing Electric Bastion. We're playing our annual Merry Oddmas special. If this is your first time seeing this, last couple of years we've been running Merry Oddmas, which is like this little mini supplement for Electric Bastionland that has like a holiday themed careers, and we've made our own little continuity to it, our little stupid universe that we're going to kind of continue tonight with possibly the dumbest thing. I'm titling.
Love it.
I'm not sure if all the players have seen this. I've titled tonight's one shot "Terminutter 2: Judgment Sleigh," and that's that so should good. Tell you the highbrow, so the highbrow nature of what you're in for tonight. First year we did very simple. Just the night before Oddmas. That was what a humble time that was. Before I fully understood just what this was going to devolve into. Last year we took the title from the adventure itself, from what was going on. Naughty was the name they gave me, because as I'm pretty sure Jeremy yelled that at one point.
Yeah. He did.
But tonight we're back to just entirely the stupidest thing ever. So we have a couple returning characters, Cray, Dr. Bad, and Mullen. Dr. Bad and Mullen, we discovered were married at the end of our last session, so that's great. And Cray has lost many of his birds along the way, but we'll get to meet some of his new birds, and so that's that. Y'all excited? Y'all ready?
I've been feeding Jeff bird puns for a while now.
Jesus,
I'm
it's
so
ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Okay, you guys ready to do the Secret Santa?
Wait,
let's do it.
Wait, what?
I thought that's what the joke we did. Didn't we say we were going to do that last year? We were going to do a Secret Santa. We completely forgot to do a Secret Santa.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was what happened.
No, I suggested to Melissa that we should do a wig exchange, like a white elephant wigmas.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
That is true. That is true.
All right, so everyone take off your hat and swap.
Yeah, just hand it over. We've had this planned, and people are just going to grab it.
We're all in the same room, definitely, 100%.
And then I pop out of Steven's wing. All right. Okay. Well, we're gonna get started. I don't know how long it's gonna go. We'll see. This is yeah. Okay. So I've got a little prologue. We're gonna start with that.
Okay.
I worked really hard on it this morning. When I say I worked really hard on it, I worked on it. Is kind of what happened. And then we're gonna find out where you guys are. So this is just gonna set the tone for tonight's Merry Oddmas special. Let me get a little music going. What do I want to do? Okay. Let's get a little something going. Okay. We ready? Everybody ready?
We are.
Ashley, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. We open on a black screen to the sounds of war. Gunfire, explosions, screams, people calling out for help. And as we fade in, we see a city under siege, a gingerbread city. Down in the corner on the screen, a bit of text shows crumbs deep. A stream of purple arcs over a wall that seems to be surrounding all of these Gingerfolk who are firing something away at an unseen enemy, all of which explodes against these various buildings within the city itself. We zoom in on one which is shaking but intact, and then we cut inside. We can see crumbs are falling from the ceiling. We see cracks are growing in the gingerbread walls. We see a dozen Gingerfolk scramble, some guarding the door. Others are working at terminals that are aglow with these frosted screens. The terminals are fixed around a central sugar glass platform, and there's a mechanical device nearby that's just humming with energy. And atop the platform is a male Gingerfolk who shouts at these two attendants that are currently scraping icing from his arms, his torso, and his legs. "There's no time! Hurry!" he calls out. There's a female Gingerfolk that's working a terminal nearby. She calls out, The device, it's fully charged! It's now or never!" The attendants are all scrambling off the platform. You see the male Gingerfolk suddenly kneel down at the center. He turns to the woman at the terminal and he says, "I'll be back." The machine starts growing louder and louder. There's this shimmering bubble of light that begins to form around it, around the man. But then suddenly a wall on the other side of the workshop explodes. Crumbs fly across the room. Huge chunks start falling from the ceiling and they pin some of the attendants. And then a silhouette appears in the hole left by the explosion. Gingerfolk screaming left and right. The machine continues to hum. The glowing orb grows brighter, and it casts this clearer view on the figure that steps into the room. A toy soldier covered in the crumbs and icing of slain Gingerfolk. The woman at the terminal screams, "We need more time! Slow it down!" And we see more attendants. They charge in as this unstoppable toy soldier marches into the workshop, impaling one with its bayoneted rifle, then leaning down and chomping the second in half with its snapping jaws. It moves towards the platform with this cold efficiency, cutting down all the Gingerfolk engineers who try to stop it. On the platform, the kneeling Gingerfolk stirs, looking to move. But then the woman at the terminal says, "Don't you even think about it, Jerry!" She grabs a candy wrench from beside her terminal and she charges at the toy shoulder. She leaps and just brings it crashing down on its head. But it doesn't do anything but shatter. The soldier reaches out with its offhand, grabs her by the neck and begins to lift her legs, kicking. And then it readies its bayoneted rifle. Back on the platform, frosted tears in Jerry's eyes begin to form. He shouts, "No!" And then a brilliant flash of light explodes. When the light fades, Jerry is gone. The platform is empty. And we cut to black. When we come back, we see our titular heroes. Where are we? Where are the five of you?
We're in a
Ice
hot chocolate
skating.
bar, clearly.
A hot chocolate bar. Then there's an ice skating rink outside the hot chocolate bar. I like this.
It's a skate up chocolate bar.
Yes, skate up chocolate bar. Yes.
That's amazing.
We're at a skate up chocolate bar. Perfect. I like it. Okay. So we're at a skate up chocolate bar. Let's start one by one then. I'm going to start with you, Steven. What is Cray doing at this skate up chocolate bar? And what does he look like? Describe him for
So
us.
I don't remember in the slightest what I've described Cray as looking like. So it's going to be completely different. And it's still the same person. Cray is the Christmas Colonel Sanders. He's got the goatee and the mustache. He's got the suit, but it's all reds and greens and everything. And very, very festive. Even his facial hair is red and green. Just red and green all the way down. And he would be teaching his most trusted friend how to skate. His most trusted friend being a wood duck named Duck Norris.
And how is Duck Norris doing on the ice?
He is graceful. He literally is skating for the first time, and he's like Olympic level. It's just a beauty. It brings a tear to Cray's eyes.
Pirouettes and jumps up, turns, lands. You see ice just shaving off in different directions. People clap like a golf clap in amazement. Okay. Nearby, we see Annalise. Melissa, go ahead and describe Annalise, what she looks like, what she's doing right now.
So Annalise is kind of dressed all in red. So it's kind of like that when your like football team just suddenly goes for like all one color instead of like randomizing things and whatnot. It's just like red top, red pants, kind of red skates that she's skating with. But on her shoulder, she has this like tape player and speakers, like almost a boombox-ish kind of a thing, but a little more like kind of metallic. And it's just on repeat, this, all I want for odd misses. And then she just like sings out whatever it is. So it's just like on repeat. So she's like skating around. It's like, all I want for odd misses. And then she's like, some antitoxin. And then she comes back around. All I want for odd miss is an arcane book. And then she just keeps like skating around and around in circles, just like on repeat with this song.
Absolutely adorable. It's wonderful. Okay. Nearby. Yeah, the Lady of Lupin. Nearby, we see Bree. Maitre, tell us, where is Bree? What does Bree look like? What is she doing right now?
Bree has skated up to the hot chocolate bar, and she she has a hat very similar to the one I've got on now, but it's black and sparkly, and she is in all black with gold trim. It kind of looks like one of those like high-end like Chanel Christmas trees. And she goes up to the thing and to the hot chocolate bar, and she orders the darkest hot chocolate with raspberry marshmallows, so they look like little drops of blood. And
very nice.
I will say, oh, how I'm missing being around the Gingerfolk this time of year. Their voices, a symphony of death.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that, but here's your hot chocolate.
You see this bear Mockery just waddles over.
Like, take your depression somewhere else. It's bad for business.
And he just plops it in front of you. Mockeries, Maitre, are basically Muppets. And so there is a Muppet that is handing you your hot chocolate. Okay. Jeremy, where do we find Dr. Bad?
So Dr. Bad has like been skating with Mullen, and at one point they kind of come to a spot where there's the Oddmus tree lit up just right. He kind of twirls her around, pulls her close. Mullen, darling, when I look into these Oddmus lights twinkling in your eye, I see an eternity of joy. But there's a part of me that feels sad for the moments that I've lost inside of my heart. So I hope that you would do this foolish old grappler the silly service of letting me ask you to be my wife once more so that I could remember it. Mullen, will you marry me?
Yes, this will be the 4th time, but
I promise I'll remember it this time. I swear. No more head injuries for me. Never again.
And she just puts her hand up to your cheek. You said that 3 other times, but Mullen still loves you.
And what does Mullen look like as she does that? Like, what does
he forgets?
Well, I'm sure she reminds.
She tells him.
Yeah, over and over. What does Mullen look like as she's like answering?
Mullen is a turtle devotee.
Mm-hmm.
So she is as large as a human, but she is a flesh-colored turtle. She is not a fashionable woman. She has her very large shell, and then she wears like these high fishing waders that she has decorated with like some blinking Christmas lights or Oddmas, I should say. I have my sticky note. I covered it. Okay. And yeah, she doesn't she wears like she has a wig on this time. So it's kind of like a short bob cut that's red to be festive. But otherwise, she generally is bald and does not have hair.
So, as you're skating, you're drinking your hot chocolate. The night is running long. The entire hot chocolate bar has begun to filter out. You can see your bear Mockery bartender is kind of getting a little antsy that you guys are still around, but he kind of heads back and does the classic cleaning some glasses kind of thing. And as you guys are finishing up your final sips of your chocolate or your final laps around the ice, there's a big burst of light right there in the center of the skating ring. And as all of you are kind of gaining your faculties, like you're blinded for a moment, and as your eyes open back up, there's this swirling debris, sugary, pepperminty, as it just begins to float around. And there, in the middle of the ice skating rink, you see a kneeling Gingerfolk materialize in front of you. His frosting is all but entirely stripped away, just his face. You see him breathing heavily. He gets up and he looks around and he sees all of you scattered, and he locks eyes for a moment with Mullen, and then he goes limping over. I need your help.
Okay.
The Winter Realm is overrun. The Nutcracker King, he has marshaled the forces from the land of the sweets, and he marches now on Crumbs Deep. If the city falls, there will be no safety. Nothing to stop him, please. And he reaches up and he kind of like grabs at you.
Mullen will, gently help lift him if that's what he's seeking.
And as you do, like his crumbs like begin to fall, as you can tell.
What happened to you?
I was chosen, volunteered for a special assignment. He pulls you down. When Santa defeated the Nutcracker King and his sugar plum witch, there was no one to stand in the way. They seized their opportunity. The king, his Terminutter army, it is unstoppable. We need help. We need you. You have the glow of the Gingerfolk. I can see it in you. And he's staring up at you like with these like big, pleading, circular, red frosting eyes. You say, Mom.
I will accept this duty that you have bestowed upon me.
Thank you, good woman. Know that you are likely marshalling to your deaths. The Terminators, they have no souls. They have no minds. They have nothing with which to reason. And every time he like winces, like a bit of crumb falls down to the ice. And he's like, I've seen.
Rushes over to the bar and asks for icing.
I
need icing right now.
Well, this is a hot chocolate bar. So I don't got no icing. It's not.
You don't have any icing. Whipped cream.
I don't.
Anything.
I can give you cream. You want cream? I can give you cream.
I just like to reach over the bar and take whatever cream I can.
Sorry.
Okay, you reach over. Hey! What are you doing? As you
take it and I rush over to the gingerbread man and try to push the crumbs back in.
And you're just pushing the crumbs back in and smothering like marshmallow and stuff like that over top. And he's like, we know so much, and yet we know so little. The king, the source of his power, the nut mender engine, it's some infernal device that channels sugar plum magic. In his house, in his palace, they churn out endless numbers of Terminators, and they send them out onto the land, taking out city after city, town after town. And now they have surrounded Crumbs Deep, the Gingerfolk capital. And you can see, like, he gets like, but it's worse. It's worse than even that. The Nutcracker King, he's captured Mother Ginger, the sacred life giver of my people. And he's like looking because you all look lost, like you have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
She who gives life to all Gingerfolk. Without her, there can be no more. We cannot produce reinforcements.
That is a travesty.
Gingerfolk are like bees where there's just a queen that just gives birth to them all.
I don't want to argue about the biological systems. Just, it hurts.
Tell us how to get
What?
to the Nutcracker, his home.
And he says,
We have. I have the power to teleport us directly to the Nutcracker Palace. It is a one-way trip, I'm afraid.
and he takes his hand and he just jabs it into his chest, like Temple of Doom style.
I just feel that.
And he pulls out a device and he's just holding it in his hand. And he says,
I can create a portal. We must act quickly. You must go. You must save my people. You must end this nightmare. Oh, it really hurts.
I am. Everyone, are you ready, Bree?
I mean, he did kill himself for this, so I suppose we should take him up on his
We
request,
defeated
right?
one evil. Father Oddmus died beneath our boot, and now
Sure,
you
dude.
shall step on more
sorry.
nuts.
Mullen, I forget how personal Oddmus is for you.
Right.
It just every year it just throws me off. But yeah, we can go kill another.
I have had
naughty-
traumatic Oddmusses. Come here,
It's
hurry!
true.
He's dying.
Because we are
Good.
like somewhat arguably responsible for this. We probably should help. I would go to hell for you, Mullen. So let's go punch a sugar plum.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
you take out a leader and there's a power vacuum, and then some other dictator tries to come in. You just got to keep taking them out. The question is, when does this end, and when does it stop being our responsibility?
When we become the new
Noel was
dictator.
going to become in charge, but apparently he is still struggling.
Some tell the story of a flying reindeer rode by a strange man, but unfortunately, he sleeps like 36 hours a day, and so he can't really help us. I tried him first, but I just couldn't wake him. Oh,
That is our Noel. Annalise, darling, come.
Yes. Let us rock. Let us rock.
Let me get myself oiled up properly so I can look good whenever we teleport in.
I cannot control where it will take us, only that it will go to the palace. Beware the sugar plum witch, for her magic is what fuels the Nutmender engine. It is what gives the Terminutors the ability to constantly and indefinitely regenerate. Oh. Gather close. There will be only one chance.
and he kind of like motions all of you. And then he reaches out with his
Duck Norris, come on.
shaking hand, and you see Duck Norris is skating. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
Yeah, he
leaps
wasn't
up,
involved in the conversation
Yeah.
whatsoever. He was just
does a twirl in the air, and as he lands, you can see Jerry hits the button, and the light whoosh, happens again, and everything goes bright. And you guys are all kind of, you feel like this intense cold once more overtake you. For those of you who have been to the realm of winter before to fight Father Oddmus, or maybe you were just in the penthouse during our first of these, and you just felt, the cold coming from the realm of winter is more intense than any you will ever feel in your bastion. When the light fades, you take a while to get your eyesights back. It kind of flickers back in, and you feel the cold, not just of the actual air, but of the ground as well. And when you look down, you realize you're not outside, but you are on some kind of floor. It is metallic, cold. And when you look around, you see these massive Oddmus ornaments that seem to be on shelves as far as the eye can see. Some are glittering, others are dark. You can see in a few that are translucent, frosty in some ways. There's something moving inside of them here and there. You hear the sounds of kind of muted screams left and right. Everything is very dark, but that glittering light from these ornaments gives you enough to see. When you come back and you're finally kind of get your wits about you, you can see that Jerry has kind of faded. Like the gingerbread, the ginger flesh itself has gone very, very pale. And there's a huge hole right in the middle of his chest where he dug out the device. He's not quite dead yet, but you can see that he is fading. And he holds up his hand and he says,
Fine, Mother Ginger.
And then his eyes, his big red circular eyes, just become a one singular straight line. You look around, and you get the sense that you are in some kind of vault, some kind of dungeon. Jeremy, give me a D6 roll.
Okay. What's 2?
Okay. You hear the sounds of this very rhythmic, militaristic movement coming in your direction. You can't see exactly where it's coming from, but there's all these different aisles and rows, but you hear the sounds getting louder and louder. These marching footsteps of something getting closer to you. You catch a sight between like where some of the ornaments are on the shelf, and you see the head of a toy soldier, its eyes glowing red, moving down one of the aisles, getting ready to turn down the one that you're at. What do you guys do?
We must hide. Quickly.
Yeah, Dr. Bad leads us to a hiding spot of some kind.
As I'm following Dr. Bad, I'm going to be very quickly taking off the ice skates on Duck Norris. And then I throw him up in the air so that he can circle around and give us a recon.
Okay, so you want Duck Norris to fly?
Yes.
Okay.
We need a bird's eye view.
All right, so where are you guys hiding? Let's describe that, because depending on how you hide, I might not even ask for a roll. So, like, where are you hiding?
Behind Dr. Bad. So wherever he's leading us.
Annalise wants to try to, like, because there's rows and rows of shelves.
Mhm.
So she just sort of wants to, like, hide on a shelf and freeze. So, like,
Okay.
if someone walks by, it just looks like there's just part of the row.
Like
Okay.
behind whatever the lights on the shelves.
Okay, so Annalise, Mullen, you climb up onto one of the shelves and you try to hide behind like the ornaments and such. Okay, Bree, what do you do?
Ducking behind some furniture that's nearby.
Okay, we'll say probably more like crates. I don't know so much as furniture, but there's probably some crates and storage crates, stuff like that.
Perfect.
Yeah, duck down behind it. Dr. Bad and Cray, then where do you two hide?
I followed you. You were leading us.
Okay. Well, he was initially going to try and like move, like he can hear where it's moving. He wants to move to like a different direction. If he can hear walking down this aisle, he wants to sneak into another aisle, moving in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Just
All right.
like do the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
So the two of you are going to try to deftly like time and move.
Mhm.
Which one of you has the better dex?
Maybe
13?
me? 15?
Give me a roll, Dr. Bad, as you lead the way. Cray will follow
Okay.
you.
Okay. I got a 12.
Okay, that's good enough as you deftly move along this kind of frosted metallic-like flooring. Everything in this room is very like shimmering and metallic in some ways, and you kind of skirt around. You get to like a different row as this creature begins to go down the road that all of you like poured it into. It stops at the corpse of Jerry, and it looks down, and you can see it's standing at attention. It's got its bayonet, toy soldier, blue jacket, its eyes glowing red, and you can see it's just looking. And those of you that are on the shelf nearby, so Annalise, Mullen, and Bree, you can see its eye. And we cut to like the Terminator screen as it's doing like the calculation of the thing. Gingerbread, deceased, threat, none. And then it also says origin unknown. And then suddenly and its head doesn't turn, but its whole body does. So you just see it constantly like looking around as it's kind of scanning a bit. But it doesn't notice you as immediately, and it begins to continue its patrol. But you see it kind of moving about. So you guys have some time to do something, but you know that there is a Terminutter here within the rows of this ornament vault. What do you guys want to do?
I would call down Duck Norris and ask like if he saw like the entrances, exits, that kind of thing. If there's one way in, one way out.
Does Duck Norris speak?
Yes, he is a mouthed fowl. He actually talks quite politely and rather good at keeping people engaged in conversation.
Okay.
Well, hello, sir. I went up into the air. I looked around. I found 2 exits, or entrances, depending upon your perspective. One seems to be, well, heavy-duty doors. The suggestion being that maybe something behind it is very sought after, or perhaps something behind it is being prevented from leaving. A second door, also heavy-duty, but not quite as much, further all the way down the hallway. I did, however, see a second one of these creatures, these toy soldiers, or as the poor gingerbread man happened to say, Terminator, patrolling near that door as well. There seems to be 2 in here. It's a very expansive vault. There are many, many ornaments within here. Did I do
I give Duck
well?
a pat on the back, like a hard slap almost.
Oh, goodness.
Why are you talking so weird? Just because we're in a palace, you don't need to put on airs.
I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I made so many horrible decisions. How did I get here?
And then you just see him just like flop down. And he looks really sad and defeated. I don't want to go on.
I'm just saying, why'd you put on the accent? You never had that before.
You don't know me at all, do you? I've been speaking with you for over a year and you don't even know what I sound like. This person that I've dedicated so much of my life to doesn't even recognize the sound of my voice.
Okay. I'm sorry. It just sounded like you were talking fancy, and I just felt like it came out of nowhere. But if this is the new you, this is the new you, and we support
Mr.
that.
Cray.
We listen, we don't judge.
I believe it is too late for apologies. Goodbye. Good luck.
And he launches himself up into the air, and he flies away.
Oh, shit.
Not
again. I send out my call saying I need another mouthed fowl.
You send out a call?
I go to my
It gets really loud.
Distributor.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what do you guys do? Great. Nice try, buddy.
I think
What's everyone do?
Annalise is kind of like eyes wide because she and Mullen had sort of hidden in one of these shelves, and I don't think she's been to this realm before, so she's just sort of looking very wide-eyed at Mullen. What?
Okay.
What? This place is you've been to this realm before?
Yes, we murdered Father Odmus, as
oh
was
my
my life's journey to complete.
And
okay.
As
I thought your
Mullins,
life's journey was to make you and Dr. Bad seem so good. I thought that was your life's work, but okay.
He is my love. He is not work.
and then she
that's not what I
turns.
meant. And she's very flustered.
On the shelf with us, is there anything that we could use as like weapons or something?
Well, the two of you climbed up onto a shelf, and you basically have these two large ornaments. They're the size, basically. Like when I say ornaments, I don't mean like small tree ornaments. They have like kind of a. They're like you could literally climb inside of them. They're so big, but you do notice that there are shadows, as if somebody has already done that. As you can see, there is in one a very small, almost maybe 2 feet tall shadow that is kind of leaned up against one's inside of the curved ornament, and you can see like the chest breathing, suggesting there is somebody alive inside. And then in the other, you can see something a little bit more flat, kind of 2-dimensional, like a Gingerfolk, but you're not sure if they're moving, as they seem more still. And so that's what you see up here, Mullen.
Okay. The one that looks the one that looks like they're breathing, she like motions for Annalise to come and try and rouse them. And if they are a foe, Mullen is ready to just shove this ornament off the shelf and onto the ground.
Okay, so how are you going to determine that?
So Annalise is going to go over towards this crouched figure, and she's just going to
they're like trapped inside of these ornaments.
Oh, okay. There's not like a got it. Okay.
Mm-mm. Think of like a spherical tree ornament, and they're kind of translucent.
Okay. So Annalise is just going to go over and tap on the outside.
Of which one?
They're the one that looked like it was breathing.
Okay. You see it scramble. Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Is there anyone out there? Hello?
Yes.
Help
Yes.
Help me. Get me out. Please, get me out.
How did you get in here?
They put me in here. They put me in here. Please.
Who are you? What is your name?
Me. I am Pancho. Please, let me out.
Are you friend or foe, Pancho? Do you work with the evil witch or with the gingerbread nation?
I work with neither. I work for the Mouse King. I was searching. I was doing reconnaissance on the palace, and Harlequin and Columbine. They found me, and they found my contingent. Please let me out. Please, I must report to the Mouse King. Please.
Okay, we could use allies. This is dangerous. Yes.
Please.
So what you're gonna? Good.
Would like to try and like cut the glass and like
Do you have like a knife or something?
Yeah, I have a shucking knife.
Okay. Give me like a dex to cut it in a way that's not gonna like shatter it and like cause a lot of noise.
My dex is shit, so get ready.
Okay.
Oh,
What,
yeah.
the turtle lady has bad dex?
Hell.
No way.
I don't know. The Ninja Turtles felt pretty good.
Hey.
It's a 7
Oh,
under 8.
success.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
You managed to you managed to cut it open and then yell victory at the top of your lungs, and you hear the Terminator.
Oh, it doesn't. That's an Ashley moment.
You cut a hole in the ornament, and you see inside there's about a 2-foot tall mouse. Definitely has been mistreated. You can tell like there's some bruising, some blood here and there. They're dressed festively. You can see like colorful greens and reds, but they definitely contrast a bit with the kind of the state. Looks terrified.
Oh, thank you. you so very much. This will not be forgotten. I will let the Mouse King know. He will have his favor. Thank you very much. I must go. Be very careful.
There are guards walking around this room. Please be very careful.
They are brutes, and they are terrible, but they can be outrun, and they can be outsmarted. The real danger. You must look out for the Sugar Plum Witch and her minions, the Harlequin, Columbine, the marionettes. They move faster than shadow. They come down from the sky, and they were not there moments before. They'll be on you in a moment. You are never alone. You are never safe. They always can see you. Be very careful.
This is
Thank
good
you, my
knowledge.
friends.
Thank you. Farewell, Poncho.
And so you can see Poncho looks and then kind of comes to the edge, peeks out, and scrambles down as quietly as can be. Okay. Cray, Bree, Dr. Bad, what are the three of you doing?
You had mentioned that there were some crates laying around. Now, by chance, would there be a crowbar or something of that nature nearby that somebody might use to have opened one of those
literally going
crates?
to ask the same thing, Jeremy.
So as you're looking around, you see Bree's head kind of pop up for a moment and look, and the two of you lock eyes, and you're both kind of looking this way, and then both of you see off down one of the rows here at the very end, there is a table, and you can see that there are some tools and such on top of it. And more than likely, you'll be able to find a crowbar there. It does mean you're rushing across the long aisle. And you can see that these Terminators are weaving up and down the rows. And so at any point, if you mistime it, they could potentially see you as you cross the aisle.
Fine, I'll finish lathering myself up in my wrestling oils. Crazy. In case things go foul, I hope you can knock down a couple shelves and create a distraction.
Is this a joke because I just lost my best friend? Is that what we're doing now? You're trying to rub it in?
Yes, I'm a bad man. That's what I do.
You're going to make the naughty list.
I am the naughty list.
So you're able. So you're going to sneak over. I'll roll over your sneak since you're doing it, Dr. Bad. No roll again. And you're able to sneak over. You're able to grab the crowbar and join Bree by the crates. So the two of you are there. You're tucked away. You have this crowbar, and you hear dish, 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 as they're just moving all about left and right. And your aerial reconnaissance has been personally offended and is no longer part of this adventure.
I'll point out to Bree, whichever of the doors was closest that Duck Norris had pointed out for us.
Okay.
And just hide behind these crates again. And wait for the boss. Duck! And she will look pointedly and great when she says that.
I'm thinking to try and get one of those doors open once there's a clearing.
Okay. Do you want to make a run for it?
Are there any ribbons around here? Maybe we could try and create some sort of tripwire for this thing.
You have all these crates here.
Just get rid of those. Maybe make one of those ornaments fall on it and crash into it.
Perfect.
I think the better plan would be just to sneak out.
Well, that's largely what I want to do. I want to go open the door with the crowbar here.
Let's do that.
Okay. So Dr. Bad, you lead the way. Cray and Bree, are you following him?
Yes.
Okay. Annalise and Mullen, you've been up on a shelf by yourselves. You've seen this mouse that you set free, but then you see your husband, Mullen, and your two other friends wandering off in the direction of one of these doors. Do you follow? The two of you follow? Do you do more over here? What is it we're thinking?
So Annalise is paying attention to the beats of the steps, and so she's getting the rhythm of the steps. So she wants to use that to move herself and Mullen towards the door.
I like it.
So she's listening carefully.
Give me a dex, but you can take advantage since you're specifically trying to time it with the intervals of the marching steps. And Mullen, if you follow her, you can take her roll.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely follow.
I know you don't want to risk rolling another dex.
Awesome. So I rolled a 4.
Okay. So
Hell yes.
the question then is, Dr. Bad, did you lead everybody over towards the heavy set of like double doors just that Duck Norris had described as being like something was either being kept inside or something particularly valuable or dangerous, whatever? Or did you go? Okay. So
Dr. Bad doesn't half-ass things. You always go for the biggest, baddest target every time.
So the 5 of you have huddled by this door. Give me a strength test, Dr. Bad. You can do it with advantage, and this is just to see if you can do it before a patrol in time. With because of the crowbar before one of these patrols comes by.
Gotcha.
Not
So roll twice, take
disadvantage
the better.
because he just oiled himself up and he can't grip anything.
What? You hear Duck Norris fly overhead. Why do you have to be just so negative to everyone? You're going to die alone.
I thought you were out of this adventure. You left.
I'm grateful for the advantage because my first roll was an 18, but my second's an 11.
All right. You're able to, and you hear as the door creaks open. Annalise, you like hold your breath, you listen, but the marching steps never change. Doesn't seem as though they heard it. And you're all able to like scurry inside. Is that fair? Okay.
Quickly.
You move down a dark tunnel. It is not lit by anything, so unless you have torches, you're basically in the dark. You can't really see anything, but you can feel the smoothness of the floor, and you can smell. Well, it smells like sugar, like burnt sugar. And eventually you see this glowing light that comes into view as the tunnel opens up into this chamber. And looking around, it is dominated by this massive, ominously glowing oven that you can see is like radiating this purple light. You can see the walls are lined with all these large and cracked baking trays and these twisted tools. You can see sharp edges are glinting with that purple glow. You can see a towering figure, massive, like 15 feet tall, made, you think, of ginger, wearing this like kind of frocked apron. And you can see it's like shifting and moving around and playing with dough. Bree, Maitri, give me a D6.
4.
You notice as you look, right as everyone's about to like peek in, you see a small group of 4 clockwork clowns scurrying about. Sometimes they scurry under like the kind of the skirts of this large gingerbread figure, hiding, shifting, and moving, sometimes coming out. And they're all kind of looking and looking and looking. Can't tell if they're playing, if they're jailers, or what it might be. And you also see on the cooling rack, like off to your left, you can see some twitching ginger folk people, but you can tell something's not quite right about their ginger flesh. It does not appear as though they have caught sight of you just yet. So, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna put my hands up and stop.
Do you see?
wordlessly gesture to these things.
I think you said we're supposed to help Mother Ginger?
Mother Ginger bake the Gingerfolk here?
Oh.
I mean, clearly this has been twisted, and now it's no longer creating the kind of
The oven is
Gingerfolk we want.
purple. That's plum witch magic.
Plums are purple. But sugar is white, and she's sugar plum.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that is bad.
You hear a voice welling behind you. Don't even try with him. He's just contrarian for the sake
You're
of
either
being
in this adventure or
contrarian.
you're out of it.
He truly is.
Excuse me.
Did you?
I have been friends not just with you, but with all of them, thank you. You do not control my social life.
Dr. Norris needs to narrate all of our adventures like forever. He needs to always be the narrator.
Wait, do you even pay attention to when Duck Norris and I have tea parties? What is
No.
wrong
Duck,
with
you were
you?
just so much cooler when we first met. I
He
don't know what
probably
happened to
doesn't
you. You let
even
yourself
realize I left. He probably thought he just calls upon me when he needs me. Never cares
He's
about my
rude.
needs.
Did you want to rest upon my shell?
I do. And he just
Yes.
climbs up, and then you can see he settles in, like the feathers
Like
kind of flutter
between
out.
her neck and,
he
the shell.
looks,
Yeah.
and he looks at Cray with like this big duck grin.
Don't
on his
give me that.
face.
I already ordered your replacement. It has dropped shipping and will be here in 20 minutes.
Cray,
Oh.
Cray, look, I know you love him. Sometimes it's better to just swallow your pride for a second and remember how much you cherish that duck.
I only ordered him so I could resell him. That's my job. I buy birds, I sell birds.
Oh, I thought you two were a thing.
He's a
It's
bird.
just so hurtful.
I mean, I don't judge. Love knows no boundaries. Anyways,
It's a
plums
dirtle.
are bad.
Okay.
He's
So-
sounding very earnestly.
So, what do you guys want to do? You're hiding in this tunnel. You haven't yet gone in. You see what you presume to be Mother Ginger. You see this big purple light coming out of this oven. You see drying racks filled with twitching Gingerfolk people, and you see these clockwork clowns just like scurrying about. 4 of them.
We
Would you
need
like
to kill the clowns and
Right.
then shut off evil oven.
Right. So clearly
are
we need.
there ornaments hanging from the ceiling similar to there were in the other room?
No, you see some like kitchen tools. This looks like a bakery. So you don't really see any ornaments like that. No.
Got it. Thank you.
She's
Is
definitely working at like dough. Like she's very clearly baking. Her back is to you, so she hasn't noticed you yet. But it's just a matter of time before she turns around and someone sees you.
Is there a big
Well,
bag of
I wrote that
icing
oven.
anywhere?
Give me high or low, Ashley.
Low. Go low.
Using this new die that Melissa got me. That's an 11. You do
Ooh.
not see bags of icing, unfortunately.
Oh,
She got me a
no.
new like green
Ooh.
and kind of reddish, I think. D20, like a
Ooh,
boulder.
That's so
So
cool.
it's very
Nice.
cool.
Opening Christmas presents early, Jeff?
I didn't even open it. It was literally sitting on my desk when I walked up to my desk before stream. So, you want me to do?
Aw.
You've heard of the 12 days of Christmas. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the kind of the theme of today.
I mean, clearly Cray hasn't. I mean, unless it's 12 days of like ordering a new duck every day. Like, I guess that's the only way.
And being
Mullen-
hurtful. Being hurtful every day.
Mullen, since Duck Norris likes to talk so much and keep people engaged in conversation, would you please ask him to fly in there and talk to the clowns on the other side of the room so that we could sneak around?
That could potentially be a good idea. Would you be willing to do that, Mr. Duck Norris?
If you, and like, since he's on your back, what if you think that's a good idea, Mullen? I would most certainly be willing to help out everyone.
Well, thank you. Please be safe while you do so.
Okay.
And I can I can go with you to help as a distraction if you would like, Mr. Doc Norris.
Doc Norris has charisma of 18, by the way. So if that comes up.
So you want to go into the room with him.
So I have a thing that I can do.
Okay. All right.
So my prized piece of equipment is a visual doubler. So as long as I'm playing my little tape player thing, so I imagine I've got like the tape player that I can kind of put some little headphones in. An immaterial double of you appears. You control its action, but it vanishes as soon as either of you stops playing. So I basically want to make a double of me that's going to walk in with Doc Norris.
I like it. Okay, so Doc Norris unfurls his feathers, gives one last look to Cray, and then just leaps off and begins flying into the room. Annalise, you create your double, which walks in after. You see Doc Norris lands on one of the cooling racks or so, and hello, excuse me, pardon me, and you can see that like Mother Ginger, her head turns, and for the first time you kind of get like a profile look, and it's just like streaked like purple icing, and like her face looks all mangled and hideous, but she doesn't really do anything. She just sort of resigns to go back to forming the dough here and there. But the clowns come out from underneath her skirts, and
where did you come from?
And they like all like kind of jerking movements here and there. And Dr. Norris, well, I came from, was a very good question. Oh dear, no one said, oh goodness. And so he's like kind of floundering.
1, 2, 3. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle bells. And so we just start singing jingle bells.
And you see as the these two clockwork clowns, they both like unhook these licorice whips that they have on their belts, and one of them lashes out in the direction of Duck Norris, and another one lashes out in the direction of Annalise.
He doesn't even get a charisma roll?
No. Why would he get a charisma roll?
I mean, we were told ahead of time.
And Annalise is immaterial, just so they'll notice that when they go to.
Poor Doc Norris.
So
You have to save him.
Yeah, how
much HP
He turned on me. He deserves his fate.
How much HP does Duck Norris have?
How much what?
How much HP does Duck Norris have?
Whopping 2 HP.
All right. He doesn't have it anymore because he takes 4 points of damage.
Does he need to make a strength roll?
He needs to make a strength save, yeah. Right. So he goes
his strength is 5.
Okay.
He rolled a nat 1.
Okay, so he stays, and you see the licorice whip like wraps around like one of his wings, and he's like, "Oh, no, Gray, help me!" As he starts to pull up and away, but like he's like tethered to this thing. The second one lashes out at Annalise, and because you are immaterial, it just goes right through, and they're like, "Ha, what the hell is that?" And they just like skitter over, and you hear like just tink, 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 as like the clockwork feet on the ground, and they're like putting their hands
bells, jingle bells.
Shut up!
Jingle bells.
I hate that song. Shut up!
Jingle
Shut
bells.
up!
While this is happening, what are the rest of you doing?
Looping the jingle bells too.
Well, it looks like conflict is inevitable. So while, especially like the one that's particularly distracted with the music, I think try and come up behind it and make an attack. Okay.
Sure. So the one that's like swiping away at Annalise. Okay. Mm-hmm. So does anybody want to go? So there's 4 of them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you guys are gonna go in there, conflict is not ever inevitable. By the way, you can do whatever you like. You guys can just turn around if you want. So it's fine.
Not when Duck Norris is in danger. We've got to clear a path.
No, I
We
actually
have a
would like to
replacement on the
include
way.
that.
He is being shipped. I got the notification. He's-
Only replaceable to
You
you,
heartless
Stephen.
son of a
And
bitch. I'll
that
teach you
is
the
very
meaning of
telling.
honest.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that. Okay, so if we're gonna we're do combat. I'm gonna say you guys all are gonna get your actions first. I'm gonna say that there are two that are. One of them has lassoed Duck Norris, and there is a second one that's going now to grab Duck Norris, and then two of them are like slapping at Annalise and yelling at her to shut up. Meanwhile, Mother Ginger, in her kind of colossal state, is still mashing the dough together. They don't notice you, so you guys are all going to get to go first. So really, it's just declare your targets and your intentions, and we'll go from there. So, Dr. Bad, you want to go after the one that's lassoed?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else going to target that one?
I'll probably do pretty good damage since he's distracted. I get a bonus, since you only get to do highest damage die versus one person.
Yeah, and we have our homebrew rules, so everyone knows. Like, the rules is written whenever you target an enemy. All the people who are targeting that enemy rolls their damage die at the same time. You take the highest. For me, I say if there's extra people that are targeting, you get a +1 for each extra person. So you're always going to be contributing. You're not like, I rolled a die and nothing happened. So that's how we do it. So Dr. Bad's going. Is anyone joining Dr. Bad?
I would like to go in. I don't want to go towards the clowns. I would like to go towards the mother. And I've got a poulterer's knife, which I don't think is an actual knife, but I'm going to assume that it's good at like scraping feathers off a dead bird. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to try and climb up the gingerbread mother and scrape off the icing, like that purple icing.
Purple icing. Nice.
Okay, I like it. Annalise, what are you doing?
Annalise was going to go to the one that Dr. Bad was going at. So she has a hook, basically like a fishing hook, a real hook.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what she is going to try to kind of fling at the same one.
Okay, you're going to okay. Bree, what are you doing?
Running over to Duck Norris to try and heal him.
Okay. And then Mullen, what are you doing?
She's gonna attack one of the ones that's holding Duck Norris.
Do you want the same one that Annalise and Dr. Bad are doing, or do you want the other one?
I'll do the other one then.
Okay. All right. So this
Steven
is what
Seagal never got this much love last year from the rest of you. I don't know where this turn happened, but I did not expect it.
you were quite cruel.
The honesty it's because he was snarky to you, and we just love that.
Yeah.
He's our mascot now.
Steven Seagal was loyal, and that's why you didn't like him.
Loyal.
Yeah.
Loyal. Duck Norris got up and flew around the ornament vault
That's
while
what
there
he
were
does
two
anyways. He flies.
indestructible Terminators that have laid waste to
Let's just get
Crumb's
on with
Deep.
killing Duck Norris
Just
so we
saying.
can get the replacement in
Loyal.
here.
What have you done? Nothing. That's what you've done. Okay.
Blah, blah.
Okay. So Annalise, Dr. Bad, the two of you go rushing in towards the one that's got last one. Go ahead and both of you roll your damage dice.
Okay. So I've got my normal unarmed is 2d6, but because he's distracted, I'll do the vile driver.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be 8 from the 2d6, and then 20.
20.
Holy.
20
okay.
total.
20 total. So Annalise, do you have anything that could do 20?
No, I rolled a 1.
So you do 21 points of damage. You'll get the +1.
But the hook that comes in is going to be part of it.
So describe how it looks then. Like what happens as you take, because you guys are going to obliterate this thing. Yeah.
She throws the hook in, and he comes in and basically gets into full Nelson, pulls him up and over, does a jumping pile driver down into the ground, and then while he's on the ground, rotates around into a Boston Crab submission move and starts yanking the legs up while the hook is still in him, so that as he pulls him up, the hook just splits down the middle and all the strings on that marionette go.
So this is a clockwork. So you see like the gears start falling out, like clink, 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 and it just kind of clambers to the ground. So that one you obliterate. You did enough damage to get through its HP and its strength. It is dead. Okay, Mullen, you go up. You and Bree are going to the second one. You are trying to do damage to the other clockwork, while Bree, you're trying to like save Duck Norris. So Mullen, give me your damage die. Your damage roll first.
It's a D6, unless this happens to be some sort of living thing that cannot swim.
It's actually not a living thing. It is
I know.
It's a machine. Sorry.
Yeah. 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, that doesn't get through all of its HP, so it's still got HP left. So you come up. What does it look like as you do damage to it?
Mullen. So as Mullen comes in, she's just kind of takes off kind of at a run, and then she gets down on her shell and just slides across the room as she has her little shucking knife out, and she goes to like cut its ankles as she does like a drive-by slide.
Okay. And it like you see like one of its legs almost kind of gives out and it tips down for a second, but then manages to right itself. But in that time, that gives Bree a chance to just grab Duck Norris. And I would say like free roll because of the damage. Like you don't have to even roll. You can just grab Duck Norris and pull him to safety. Is that okay, Bree?
Oh yes. Thank you.
And do you have abilities that actually heal?
So I have ethical vampirism.
Okay.
If you drink someone's blood, you can absorb any toxins or illnesses from them.
Okay.
It's not a heal really. It's really just if there's like a condition that was on Dark Norris from this thing.
So do you grab him and start to move away and just start to like just taste him a little bit, like, oh, thank you, Bree, thank you. Why are you? What are you?
Sorry.
Oh goodness!
I know how cruel this is. You are an unwilling actor on this stage of a battlefield. This is very cruel.
And so you managed to pull Duck Norris to safety. Fantastic. And then we come to Cray. Cray, you wanted to climb Mother Ginger and try to start scraping some of the. First, I need you to roll either. I'll give you a choice: strength or dex.
To climb.
Either one is fine with me.
I prefer dex.
Okay. Just scramble. Up.
Okay. This dice rolling good or bad, depending on what game we're playing. It's a 2 under 13.
2 under 13. Okay, that's excellent. You climb all the way up, and you can see she starts reaching back. And she's moving like kind of slow because of her size. She's coated in like dough, and you can see in front of her as you climb up to the shoulder. You can see arrayed is this kind of dry, crumbled dough, which you realize now is like the crumbled remains of Gingerfolk repurposed into like this secondary dough. And she's like kind of piecing it together. And from this perch, you can look over, you can see the cooling racks, the hardened gingerbread. She has rebaked them, and she has morphed them from gingerbread to ginger snaps. And they look cruel and in pain.
Much, much worse.
And you start scraping away. Okay. Give me.
The whole time I'm just, hush, don't fight. Let it happen. Let it happen.
Okay.
I'm just scraping.
All right. Give me a charisma test.
Would that be willpower?
It's charisma, but in the system that we're using, it only says willpower. But like Electric Bastion uses charisma. Intotheodd uses
that's
willpower.
That's a 16 then.
Okay.
Which I rolled a 13.
Okay. You
Nice.
you see she looks towards you and you're on her shoulder and she's like reaching up with her big hand covered in like the ginger flesh of captured gingerfolk, and she like pauses for a moment as you begin to scrape the purple away, and she seems very confused. The rest of the clockworks are gonna go. I think the one who had Duck Norris in his hands is going to turn and probably attack Mullen. Mullen, you will take. Okay, so they turn back around to you and they take this like licorice, this licorice whip, and they just kind of lash it back out in your direction. You are going to take 3 points of damage, Mullen.
I have 1 point of armor, so just 2 damage.
Just 2, exactly.
Nice.
Then there's 2 others. One of which was both of which were like kind of slashing away at basically at Annalise. I'm gonna roll my targets randomly. Okay, one of them's gonna be Mullen again. So Mullen, this one lashes out again. 2 more points of damage. So 1 more to you because you're armor. Then one of them's gonna go after Annalise. And so Annalise, you take 3 points of damage as well. As now these things are all in the fight. There's 3 more in the fight, and they're all kind of lashing out at you. One of them like hops up on top of the cooling rack, is like yeah, slashing down at you with the whips. Comes back around to you guys. So all of you see Cray kind of scraping away at this confused giant gingerbread woman. And then you can see that Bree has raced Duck Norris away, no longer in threat. One of the machines has fallen at Dr. Bad's feet. What do you guys want to do? There's still 3 more.
I'm going to assume... Go ahead.
Would you call these non-electric machines? These little clockwork clowns?
They are technically powered by sugar plum magic, so I would say they're probably not electrical.
Okay. So I have a thing that I can do. So my sub-genre is post-stream. So when I drop the bass, all non-electric machines stop working until the end of the track. So I can like temporarily stop them.
Okay.
All of my stuff obviously is like Oddmas songs, so the tracks are not particularly long, I would say. So,
okay.
But it would give a chance for some people to kind of do some other things, maybe like a round, maybe.
Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
I think this is great. Do you have there's no roll or anything, it's just you do it?
Yeah, so just when I drop the bass. So you'll...
What does it look like or sound like as you drop the bass?
So this is going to be a it's going to be Rocking Around the Oddmas Tree is basically what her song is going to be.
Yes.
So that's what it kind of jumps into.
Yeah.
Okay. And
then
so
she kind
as
of gives everyone the eyes to like while
That
she's
is so much
kind of
better
doing
than
this.
what I had in mind.
I love it.
Because I
love
was
it.
thinking, last Oddmas, I gave you my heart.
oh god. Oh, okay. I don't even want to
love
play
it.
anymore.
It's
I
good.
don't even want to. That's it. We're done. Okay.
Yes, you do.
All right. So you see these. They kind of skitter and then they stop and you can see the swirl of this like purple mist kind of starts to seep out of them in places. Like it's confused. Like and they all just kind of stop in this this frozen motion. Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I would take the confusion of the mother to be a sign that this scraping is working, regardless of whether it is or not. And I just want to continue thinking that if we get her back, she might be able to help us somehow.
Excellent. Give me a charisma test.
All right. So need a 16. Rolled a 6.
Okay. And she just kind of stares at you and she just seems to trust you. Or at least she doesn't feel threatened by you. And she even turns her face a little bit further and you get to like the other side and you start scraping the other side as well. You can see like the bits of confusion in her eyes, like these circular bits of frosting, like there's the gingerbread in the middle. You can see that they're just moving up and down and squinting in confusion as if she's coming to some sort of conclusion. Dr. Bad, Mullen, Bree.
Yeah, one of the ones that was whipping his wife, Dr. Bad, will come back. Very nonplussed by this situation. We will be coming up behind them to kick out the back of its kneecap, grab that whip, wrap it around its neck, and prepare to try and yank that sucker's head off if possible.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How on earth did you get to 20 damage?
2d6 and then a d12 for the vial driver.
Okay.
Holy crap.
I don't think you get both of those.
That
I
is
think
me
it's
not remembering.
one or the other. It's fine. I think you still would have done enough damage to get him to make a strength test. I think it's one or the other.
Don't
Either
forget
you do
my
the
+1.
The 2d6,
Yes.
or you do the d12. It's like one or the other.
Oh man, 2d6 is better. Vial driver is weird.
I agree.
That's
and
fine.
it only works on a target that is distracted by something else.
Yeah.
No big deal. Who cares? Okay, because that's like enough to one shot like pretty much every boss that we've had, and that seems excessive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Dr. Bad. You go to the one that was on that was whipping Mullen.
Yes. I'll go with it. Ooh, that's 9.
9 is
Pretty
still
good.
going to get through its health. It's not going to get through all its strength, but hang on. So that means it's going to. So I have to make a strength test to see if it falls completely. It does. It does not pass. It's a 14 on its roll. So you do in fact destroy a second. So describe what it looks like as you tear through another one.
It's exactly that. He sees the thing whipping at his dear beloved wife, and he comes through and he stomps in the back of its knee. It falls down. He wraps its little licorice whip around its head, and he leverages it into a sleeper hold at first, and he raises it up and up, puts his knee into its back, and he cranks it up until the head pops off into his arm there. And he holds it up in the air, pointing it at the next one.
It's like hanging like a predator skull, except it's like the head of one of these things with like machinery just dropping, and you just have it up in the air.
Just a spine of gears.
Just a spine of gears. You see all this little gears popping out. Okay, there are 2 left. Bree and Mullen, the 2 of you have yet to go. Do you want to target the same one? Do you want to do different things? What do you think?
I'd love to put Doug Norris down and then target the same one if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I also want to
Absolutely.
put him down.
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
You're so mean. This is what it's like to be Cricket. That's what it is.
We're getting rid of him in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Bree, Mullen, both you go ahead and roll your damage against one of these targets, and we'll take the higher.
2.
Okay.
Get higher,
4.
Bree. Get higher.
So that's 5
4.
total damage, which is enough to get through its HP into its strength. Let me roll a strength test to see if you destroy it. It did pass on its strength, so you don't rip it apart, but it is still kind of immobilized. Is like the chassis of it is thick enough. And then there is a 4th. I'm going to say neither of them get to do anything because of Annalise's essentially a stun here. So it comes back around again, and you can see that they are kind of falling apart. You haven't made a ton of noise yet, which is really good. You kind of hear this ineffectual call coming out from like one of these little voice modulators that these little machines have, but it's not able to get the volume that it wants to get, as if it's trying to call for help. As it sees like the two of its compatriots just completely destroyed on the ground. Cray, do you continue to just scrape away?
Does it seem like it's doing anything?
It does. It does. It seems like she's just like kind of getting some sense about her again. Like,
Yeah,
you're
as long
pretty
as
sure
it
if she
seems like
wanted
it's
to.
effective, I
Yeah.
want to keep working at it.
Okay. And so as you kind of scrape away the last of the purple, you see she starts to get very kind of dizzy and then just falls back, and you go falling with her. She slams onto the ground and you go tumbling to the point you're not going to take any damage, but you kind of slide around and you can just see, where am I? Where am I? This is not.
You're in your palace. You've been attacked by
This is
the
What?
What?
I
you
have
were
no
under
palace.
the Sugar Plum Witch's spell.
Oh no. And then she looks at her hands, which are coated in gingerbread dough. Oh no, what have I done? What
Genocide, but we don't need to worry about that now. We'll focus on that later.
And she starts panicking. Cray, give me a charisma test to keep her from shouting loud enough to alert the Terminutors.
That's
Oh,
a 5
gosh.
under 16.
Okay. And she's like,
Oh,
this is not the gingerbread city. This is not my home. This is not the holy forge of ginger. Where am I? You little one, what have they done? And then she looks over and she sees the ginger snaps. And just like this intense horror like overcomes her face as she realizes.
I understand. I hate ginger snaps too. It's awful. But we need to get you safe. Jerry sent us. I don't know if you know Jerry or not. He knows you very well. He sent us to save you.
It is not a name. It is a title we give our strongest warriors.
Oh, well, that doesn't really explain why he died so quickly. Never mind. So we are going to get you out of here. We're going to break the witch's curse. But we're okay. This is okay. We're going to break the curse, and we just need to stay quiet. Is this Crumbs Deep? I was told we were in Crumbs Deep.
What? No. I don't know where we are. I was in my forge in the great city. I was working. I smelt burnt sugar plums. Yes. I felt a presence I had not felt in some time. I heard a voice. A horrible voice. Sugar plum magic. Yes, I remember. And then everything went black. And you can see, like, the memories are starting to like, come back to her. Just so you know, Crumbs Deep is where the fighting is, where, like, the gingerbread people. You are in the Nutcracker King's Palace. Which is not a different thing. As you're trying to shut down his Nutmender engine to...
Right. So this is going to be a problem. I did have something drop shipped. I'm going to have to talk with customer service, change the address. It might take a little bit longer to get here, but don't worry. We will keep you safe, and we will get you out of here.
Okay, that explains everything. Okay. Meanwhile, there are two more. Do you guys just finish them off? Is that the idea?
I'd say so. Yeah.
With the, I'll say,
and they would
I'll
be
say,
back up.
Yeah, but I'll say with the pumping of the music, you guys are able to defeat them. So just describe what it looks like for me as, like, you all kind of team up to take these guys. They're pretty. Only one of them is pretty damaged. The other one hasn't been touched. But there's enough of you that you could probably take them apart. So what does it look like?
With
Hook.
Yeah, and then the other one, like, Mullen snaps onto it with her, like, kind of turtle beak as Bree pulls the other side and we split it in half.
Like a reverse, what's it called? Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Jurassic Park Lost World. What happens to Toby? Okay. All right. Okay. And so at this point, you have these 4 destroyed clockwork clowns that are on the ground. You've got this panicked and confused Mother Ginger with you. And then you know that down the hall, back the way you came, there are Terminutors. What do we do next?
Bree starts by looking grimly at the scene and saying, "If there is a heaven, it surely weeps for us."
Mullen, the practical woman she is, snatches up one of the licorice whips.
Absolutely. 1d8 is the damage on that.
Brilliant.
Nice.
And there are 4, so if anybody wants one, you're welcome to it.
Yeah.
I would love to grab one.
1d8, and it does have a little bit of range too. Sorry, Craig, go ahead.
Cray's in the background talking with customer service.
Okay, and they're like, "Sir, it's Oddmas Eve. There's no shipping this night. I'm sorry."
20-minute shipping is what I was promised. I have the membership. I know that this is about 3,000 miles further from where
Cray. Oh, I see the problem. Your membership dues have lapsed. You haven't paid them in 2 years. You're actually overdue.
I actually haven't sold a bird in a year, so that's been a problem, and I glare at Duck Norris.
Duck Norris is just it's like trying to get rid of the blood on his feathers as you're just glaring at him. And he looks up.
I'm just bickering with customer service in the background.
Okay. All right. Who else is doing something?
I think I'm going to carry at least one of the heads of one of these clockwork men.
Okay.
We got temptation to, like, put it on a stick, so potentially if we need to, we, like, put it up so, like, one of the Terminators can see it.
Like a puppet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. What else?
Will these ginger snaps be a problem for us?
Mother Ginger says, No, leave them.
They don't know. They are just confused. When a Gingerfolk becomes a ginger snap, they lose all softness, all understanding of what they were. They become brittle, and they become closed off to the world, cold and cruel, like your friend over there on the phone with customer service. But they are still living. I might be able to rejuvenate them.
Okay. What about this evil oven? Purple seems bad.
Yes, it is the sign of the Sugar Plum Witch's magic. I can't use this oven. I must gather the snaps. I must gather them, and I must make it back. I must make it back to my people. My people need me. Even now, I can feel them. I can feel their calls.
Rum's
like
keep is under
ridiculously
siege.
serious.
Oh, goodness. If it has come that far,
We have to keep you safe.
no.
I think perhaps the best way we can do that is to make a rush in the other direction. It sounds foolish, but draw attention to ourselves such that Mother Ginger here can leave.
The Crumbs Nation depends upon your survival.
I can find a way. I can find my own way. Do not worry. The Sugar Plum Witch is not the only one with powers.
And you can see like she takes a bit of dough and like some cinnamon and she just begins to swirl and swirl and swirl and swirl until it gets bigger and bitter. And she's like, please help me with the snaps. I can bring them. This will take us to the Holy Forge. I can rejuvenate them. You all, the stove above it, there is a vent. It will take you up into the courtyard outside of the Sugar Plum Citadel. You will be able to access the tower. It is inside. You will find the witch, the king. Continue on. And she starts gathering all the snaps.
Yeah, and Mullen's helping her.
Mm-hmm.
I will also help.
No, that's okay. You've done enough.
Well, a question. It is Oddmas Eve. Have you ever had roast duck for dinner, and do you have cash on you? Because I'm in need of a quick transaction, and I am an entrepreneur, and I go over towards Duck Norris and pull him over.
What?
Look at this fine duck you could have.
This is not the time.
I am actually a vegetarian myself, personally. I don't. I
He's
mostly
great
just
company.
eat sugar.
He will keep
and
you company, and he's better off in your hands than mine. You'd be doing him a favor.
She leans down. Well, what say you, little ducky? Would you like to see the Holy Forge of Ginger? And he looks up. I would. There's nothing left for me here.
And he looks over towards Cray with this like really sad look on his face.
I am not wanted. Yes, come with me.
And she like picks him up and puts him on her shoulder.
Thank you.
Soak him in butter. He's already going to be oily. He might as well taste good too.
I'm not going to eat him, you cruel man.
Of course not.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
And she bids you all farewell and she steps into the swirling cinnamon.
Wait, you forgot to buy. You didn't pay me.
She didn't pay you, but she did, however, take Duck Norris.
I don't think she forgot anything.
Okay.
While this transaction was happening, Annalise was listening to kind of the vent. So, kind of when that discussion was happening with the vent, she's going to start kind of going over and listening.
Yeah, you listen. You don't hear anything going up it. You don't hear anything coming down. It is wide enough probably to fit all of you. Not at once. You'd go one by one, but you probably could climb up here. She's not wrong. Looks like that would get you up out of this sort of subterranean level that you're on.
So she tries to use her little hook thing as sort of like an unscrew, as she's got to like unscrew like the vent cover.
Okay, fair enough. So you, and then you're able to open it up. And do you all climb up? Do you do anything else? You search around. There's plenty of stuff around here. There's all sorts of cabinets and looks like there's like cupboards and things like that. There's some tools for some baking tools and such. But all the while, the the oven is like kind of that pulsing purple fire.
I'd like to search around. I didn't grab one of the whips because I'm not necessarily that strong. So it'd be nice to have a tool that would help me otherwise. And honestly, I just need stuff to sell because I got to pay my membership dues.
Okay, give me a D6.
D6.
That's our debt this time is Cray's membership dues.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. You find, as you pull open one drawer, most of the things you find are kind of very benign, generic looking tools and ingredients for baking. But you pull open one drawer beneath the oven, in fact, and you see these faintly glowing sugar crystals. You see 3 of them. And you take a look at one, and it smells like sugar. It's warm to the touch, and like if you kind of put it to your nose, take a little taste of it, you feel rejuvenated. So you have 3 of these. These can restore 1d4 HP per crystal.
Nice.
Nice.
No one's hurt yet, right?
I don't think so. Guess
I'll just pocket them all.
Norris.
I have
Mullen is
3
hurt.
HP.
But
down.
I'm okay.
Oh,
I
Mullen
have
is.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, Mullen
Okay.
and Annalise take damage.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also
Then
2 out of 5.
I toss one to each of them. Annalise, being way up there, might take a couple tosses before we actually coordinate the catch.
Annalise would
then
come
I'll take
down,
one for myself.
So you guys
Because
don't
she
need to
would look at
take HP regeneration. Is as long as you take a few minutes, you can get all your HP
Oh, that's
back.
right, to rest.
Oh yeah.
During
okay.
so this would be more like a combat kind of. You pop this during combat to get some
Well,
back.
then screw you guys. I'm keeping all 3 for myself.
Okay.
Is there a cupboard up here that I could look through after I unscrew the vent?
Absolutely. Give me a D6.
2, but I think that might have been what Cray rolled.
No, that's fine. When you open it up, it's really just like a high or low I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you open it up, you do see there's like sheets of candy glass. And as you're kind of flipping through them, you notice one of them is kind of like pulsing. Like there's this kind of colorful pulsing to it that makes it stand out from the others. I'm
She kind of
sure
examines
exactly
it.
what it does. There is magic coursing through it. Oh no, they're like big
Oh.
sheets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna like poke at it, see if it does
When you
anything.
poke at it, you see it just sort of like repels your hand. You're like kind of flies back from.
Oh. And she'll stick that in her bag.
Okay. All right. What do you guys want to do?
Start climbing up the
Hit
vent
in the
after that.
vent, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So one by one, you all start to climb. Does anyone have like any tools to help along the way? Okay.
No, I don't.
I'll tell you this. Who has the best dex or strength?
Maybe me.
Probably
What you got, Dr.
not
Bad?
me.
15.
Okay.
11.
Better than mine.
Yes.
Dr. Pat, give me a dex as you kind of lead the way up and try to like reach back and help people, and we'll see if you get
Okay.
up easily.
14.
Okay.
It was really close.
It's a little slippery up here. There's like residue from the baking that sometimes like you kind of lose your footing or your grip. But eventually you're able to get everyone safely out. And for the first time in a while, you feel the fresh air. And it is markedly cold. It is freezing. But you find yourselves coming out of a vent in the ground, ice all around, of a open courtyard. And there are ramparts here and there where you can see more of those Terminators moving about. You can see the silhouettes. You can see the glowing eyes. And you see right there in the middle of the courtyard, there is a towering crystalline structure. Its walls, you can see, are shimmering with this eerie purple glow that seems to pulse. Boo. 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 over and over. It doesn't look as though there's much activity in the courtyard itself, but you can definitely tell that these Terminutters are keeping an eye on things. As you watch, one of them suddenly, there's like a shadow moving across the sky, and you see this beam of light come out of its eyes. This laser just cuts something right in two, and you hear, "Ah!" And falling to the ground in the courtyard, you see a bird. Cray, what do we see?
We see a red and green macaw in a white knitted sweater with bowl cut blonde hair. This is Macaulay Culkin.
So gets up, puts its wings to its face. And then it sees you and it waddles over in your direction. Hey.
And we do our best friend handshake that we agreed upon in the shipping detail contract. And I put him on my shoulder.
Where the hell did you bring me here? This seems dangerous. They just cut my flying contraption in half.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can fly, because otherwise you would have fallen pretty hard there. But don't worry, we're going to be best friends, and we will be loyal to each other till the end, and neither of us will betray each other ever.
Why do you say it like that? That's a weird thing to... I mean, is that the kind of thing that really needs saying?
Yeah, I say it to all my birds.
Wait, how many
you're the only bird
birds have there been?
None.
I'm your first?
You're my first.
Why does it smell like duck? You guys smell that?
Okay, so if you look at this thing, we see a lot of Terminutters, and we see this pulsing thing. What would you suggest we do about this?
I would turn around and run away?
They didn't brief you on the particulars. Okay, that serves. I'm going to have to call customer service later. But right now, we should hide and try to find a way.
Oh, that reminds me. Reaches into his pocket and pulls out. This is an invoice. You have a lot of past due payments.
I take the invoice and I eat it.
But
it doesn't exist anymore.
I think that's how that's supposed to work.
Well, do you have a second copy?
I mean, I had that in my pocket like the whole time. There's like some peanut brittle
have another one,
and some
right?
bugs. Okay.
If you don't have another one, that's the only one. It's gone.
Well, I think they have it on file.
They don't.
Oh. Okay, well, okay then. I guess we're going to live forever. All right. What do you guys want to do?
Yep.
Well, are we going to try to scale the outside of this tower or bust our way through a door?
Well,
scale.
If we scale the Nutmen, they can potentially see us and also shoot us with lasers.
That would be very bad. Very
That's
bad.
a good point. I don't want to be Terminuttered.
But
no.
If we go inside, we have no idea what sort of traps. They did say, we met this lovely little man, mouse folk. His name is Poncho. He did tell us she's always watching. Always watching. So I don't know if inside or outside is better.
I mean, she's watching us anyways.
I think we'll do better inside.
I don't think we should be loud, though.
Agreed.
I don't.
My throat all scratchy.
Oh, that's because there was diseased. I had diseased bugs in my pocket that had smothered over the.
I'm allergic to disease bugs. That explains it.
Also, probably there is some poison oak. That is a delicious snack for our bird friends, and it's very dangerous for you.
I'm gonna start scaling the walls.
Okay, you want to climb? Okay. So anybody who wants to try to scale the walls, this is a very dangerous thing to do. Roll dex.
Wait, why'd you say it now?
Everybody just watches Cray.
I feel like we're
going
changing
inside.
Yeah.
That's a 6 under 16. I'm sorry, 6
Okay.
under 13.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. You guys see
Right. I was
Cray.
just saying I said the wrong number.
You see him just sort of moving up. He grabs a foothold here. You hear the sounds, and like this red light just kind of curves over top of his head as it's kind of scanning, and he just kind of ducks underneath it. And then as the Terminators continue their patrol on the ramparts, and then Cray continues. Eventually, you find this window about 2 stories up. You kind of clamber inside. But the rest of you.
Annalise, can you do your musical magic thing where you sing like "Oh Silent Night" and learn what they're doing?
I don't think that would. And Annalise
I
had
am
already
not
started
good
climbing.
at being. I'm not good at this. I will die.
Annalise had already started climbing and rolled very, very, very poorly.
Oh, really? How poorly? Like a natural 20 or?
19.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not a crit. Okay. You guys watch as Annalise falls. She gets up. One of those red lasers kind of moves across. You can see it's like a laser pointer. And as she tries to scramble underneath it, she loses her footing. And she falls, taking 2 points of hit point damage or hit protection damage.
Oh,
Macaulay Culkin puts his wings up and goes to scream, but I put a hand over his beak.
Okay. What the rest of you?
I'm gonna try and grab Annalise's body and go inside.
Okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like Mullen's probably not gonna be able to do the climb, so I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah,
go
I
in the
was.
door with
I could try.
I've a decent strength and no dex,
Okay.
so I was not going to climb.
Is there anything in this room I could throw down to help them climb?
High or low?
Always go low.
That's an 8. You do, in fact, find that you climb into a room. You appear to be in some kind of bedroom, you think. There's no one in here. It's beautifully decorated. And you can see that there's like a 4-post bed, and there's all these like different cloths and tapestries and stuff that you like quickly kind of you can tie them together and probably create a rope that would probably reach the bum.
You guys just see blankets and sheets that are tied together just thrown out the window and like fall down.
Amazing.
Okay. So all of you, do you decide to go up? Okay.
Yeah, we're going.
One by one,
All right.
you climb up and you clamber over into this beautiful bedroom. You see that there are many mirrors, there's a couple different wardrobes. Everything smells just wonderful in here. It doesn't look as though it has been slept in recently, like today. Like everything looks very neat and tidy, and there is like a lantern glowing over on one of these tables, and it gives off this like purple glow. There is a ornate door that seems to lead out of this large bedroom. There is also a beautiful tub in the corner with this like trifold stand partition, keeping it separated from the rest of the bedroom.
There's a lot of fancy stuff here. Does it seem like it could be a room for royalty, or is it like, still smaller? Is it that grand?
It is that grand, and it's quite large.
Okay, so we could be in the Sugar Plum Witch's bedroom here, and I'd like to just search around for anything that might be witchy.
Okay. Give me a d6.
That is a 5.
Okay. You look around and something catches your eye over by this setup, this dresser, and there's a stool, and there's mirrors, makeups all on top of the counter. But you also notice that there are 3 snow globes. And each of them depicts like these beautiful, idyllic Christmas villages. But as you look at them, you see there are figures moving about. Some of them are like jumping up and down and like waving their hands. You see a few have like scrambled up atop of a rooftop that is covered in snow, and they're currently like drawing lines. You see an H, you see an E, then you see an L and a P, and you realize there are people inside of here.
Annalise, Mullen said you know magic. Can you come over here and look at this? I believe that these are actual villages conquered by the Nutcracker King and the Sugar Plum Witch. Question, magic knowledge that you know, if I dropped one of these, would it release them or would it kill them?
Okay, I definitely, even Mullen knows that sounds like terrible idea.
Well, no, if you drop them, then it might break the magic and they might go back to living their happy lives.
And explode their entire village that is depicted inside the beautiful...
Unless this is just like it's just a replica of their village. Like Annalise has a duplicate.
Outside experiment, not a bedroom experiment.
We could drop it out the window.
What if you do like you did back there and just cut it open and see what happens? And if bad things happen, we can
three
just
of
seal
them.
it
We
back
can
up.
try 3 times.
Sounds dangerous. What
right,
if
so
we
Mullen,
kill more people?
We won't kill more people. If anything, we're releasing them. They want help. Look at them. They want help. Those little guys. They're so cute. They want help. Okay.
Does
so
there appear to be any magic nearby it, like purple magic?
Oh yeah, like you can see this like little glinting haze of purple that kind of seems to move through like the falling flakes and washing around here and there. Yeah.
All right, so we crack one open. If that doesn't work, we drop the next one out the window. If that doesn't work, we leave the third one and just call it a day.
Or what if we just kill the source of the evil magics?
I like that idea. Let's do that idea.
That's going to happen either way, but it may not release them until the snow globe is cracked open, right?
Let's do that first.
If we crack open the snow globe, we might have an army to help us fight her.
So can I, and you could totally say no because there's magic things happening here, so this may not be a thing. Can I try to, say it this way. Annalise will try to double herself into one of them. And then you can let me know if that's the kind of thing that would succeed or not.
I would say you could do that, sure.
So she has to be like playing a song when she does it, and so she does start with Last Christmas, and she's just singing.
It's Small World.
I said yes. Like I said yes, you could do it, and then you use that song of all songs.
I'm looking through a song of Christmas songs, and it's sort of like where my eye lands.
Like not I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Blah blah.
There you go. I'll do that because it's snowing inside the snow globe.
That's my
so
favorite
Christmas
Christmas song, by
makes
the way.
so much more sense. That's what she thinks.
So you appear inside of the snow globe in this small idyllic winter village. You're in like this this courtyard, this town square, and you are immersed in some kind of liquid, and it is freezing. Like, and somehow your physical body can feel the cold of like this. It's not damaging you, but you can sense it through that like tether that you create. And you see people rushing over towards you, and as they do, like they're moving kind of slower because they're in water, and they're like, "Help us! Help!"
Yes. If we break that, can we get you out?
How the fuck would we know?
How did you? What happened that you were inside this?
We would not bow to the Nutcracker King.
Oh, and then you found yourself inside of here?
The Sugar Plum Witch cast a spell.
Okay. Oh, we're trying to find her.
Cool.
we were going to drop this, and we thought maybe if we drop the snow globe, then it would release you. But it seems like maybe dropping the snow globe isn't going to release you. It sounds like that might hurt you a lot.
I don't know. This is my first time being magically trapped in a snow globe.
It's really, really cold in here.
You get used to it after a while.
Okay, we're going to try our best to get you out of here as fast as we can.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Cray's going to work on a hunch here. I'm sorry. Do I hear this conversation?
No,
Now that I'm here,
inside the snow globe. You know.
No.
I didn't know if
say
Annalise would be repeating
she's
it,
gonna-
like duplicating.
She's going to, when she stops playing inside, she will disappear.
Okay.
And so then it'll just be Annalise outside.
Okay.
It was the Sugar Plum Witch, as we thought. They wouldn't bow to the king, and she cast a spell. So we probably have to get rid of her to uncast the spell to get them out. But it's very cold, and they're in the liquid in their.
Did you learn anything new?
They're trapped. They don't know how they got trapped. They don't know how to get out. They need us to take care of. They need us to take care of her.
I grab one of these snow globes.
Okay.
And I feel like if we break it, it'll just expand wherever it is. So we obviously can't break it inside. So I chuck it as hard as I can out the window.
Okay. You hear the vague sounds of it crashing and breaking.
There's no
What
giant...
the hell?
There's no explosion. No, I'm not sure.
What
Give it a minute.
I
Just give it a
never
minute.
signaled
Wait
that.
for the magic to
just
wear
so
off.
you know.
It's gonna.
No.
Yeah.
It's gonna expand.
This is the kind of thing that made Doris leave.
I'm
You
so
look
happy
down.
for Duck.
You look down, you just see the shattered remains. You see like a mangy dog come out of the shadows and like just start.
Oh no!
Okay, you know we all make mistakes, but we learn lessons and we grow and we move on from them. And I think now is the time to move on from them.
That is a different people who will probably lay a curse upon your bloodline. You have one turtle curse already.
There was no way to know that would happen. It made sense that if you broke it, that it would, you know what? We need to keep moving. We're gonna keep moving forward.
Annalise, could you roll a d6?
Bree is going to peek through the door and see what's on the other side.
And I will tell you when Annalise rolls this d6.
I will.
Hell yes.
You roll a 2? Okay. You see Bree coming in your direction. There is a Terminutter that is coming directly at the door.
I'm gonna close the door and quietly. We're gonna have to make some decisions real quick.
You all now can hear the
There's a
stomps.
Terminator on the other side of the door.
Dang it.
Mullen's gonna go hide in the bathtub behind the partition thing.
Okay, you hide in the bathtub.
Nice.
What else? Who else is doing what? Quickly.
I'd like to try and like block the door. Like if there's a dresser nearby, just slide it in front of the door or find a chair to jam under the handle.
I'm helping with that. And,
Okay, if the two of you help, no roll, you can slide this dresser with the makeup and the snow globes. You can slide it over in front of it. Absolutely.
Don't drop the snow globe.
All right, Doctor.
Are there any other exits besides that particular door?
You don't see one. No, you're in a bedroom, so you're pretty sure.
Okay.
There's the window too, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your oil. Yes, you have your.
Of course I do. I'm always prepared.
Yes, you should throw that on the floor so that when it does break in, it might slip and fall.
And push
then
it out
that
the
would give
window.
us a chance
Amazing.
to
start whirling
Yes.
down the floor. Basically,
Okay.
I have a limited supply, so now
Making
it's
a
this awkward
slip
scene
and
of like
slide.
Dr.
Hell
Bad
yeah.
sliding himself across the floor
Just like
to oil it up.
rubbing yourself. I have a fucking so clear picture of what you're doing right now in my head. It's
Yes.
ridiculously clear. Okay. And it's at that point you hear and you see stabbing through the door and then through the mirror of the dresser, one of those bayonet rifles comes through and just and starts slamming. It's going to roll a test to see if I'm going to roll a strength test with it to see if it's able to bust down the door without any major issues. As you might expect, they have very high strength.
Sure.
So it smashes, the dresser goes tumbling over, and you can see the door is like ripped off its hinges and it's starting to push through. You have like a turn to do something else before it gets through. So Mullen, you're still hiding. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then Annalise, where are you?
Annalise is going to take her reel hook and the reel that it's on, and
Okay.
she wants to try to make like a tripwire for it, so that like it's either going to slide, it's going to trip, like something bad is going to happen to it. So she's kind of like pulling that taut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love it. So you create this this tripwire like right in line with the greased up flooring. Okay, Dr. Bad.
I would love to combo off of that and be like kind of in position, kind of crouched and ready to suplex the thing out the window afterwards.
Okay, and then Bree, what are you doing?
I'd like to assist with this, move to the window. The intention being to use the licorice whip to like help to drag this thing if I need to.
Okay, you're basically
While
so
it's
you
being
and
pushed.
Dr. Bad are gonna try to like try to force it out the window, and then Cray.
All right, Macaulay, this is your chance to shine.
What? Fuck that shit. No.
Sit on the windowsill, and when this thing comes in, you just start talking to it, and when it slides towards you, you fly out the window and let it chase you. You can fly, it can't.
Okay, I got this, boss.
You got this. You got
No
it.
Get
problem.
lasered.
And then I hide.
He sits down right there on the sill. The door busts open. All of you roll a dex to see if you go before or after this thing.
Oh, I have such
Oh, the
shit
two.
dicks.
3
Okay,
under
so
13. Pass.
Annalise is going to go before. You succeeded, Cray?
I pass, yes.
Okay, so Cray is going to go before. Bree, how'd you do?
12 over 6.
You're going to go after Dr. Bad?
12 as well, but under 15.
Okay, you're going to go
Nice.
before. Okay. And then Mullen.
11 over 8. I fail.
Okay, so Bree and Mullen probably makes sense. Mullen, you're hiding in that bathtub. Might take you an extra second. So this thing bursts through the door, and you can see shards of wood and like sugar glass go flying. You see clothes come out of the drawers. You see the snow globes go tumbling this way and that. And there it is. This like laser bzzz, looks through, and you hear Macaulay go, Hey, I'm over here. And then Macaulay just like bursts into this utter flame. And it's absolutely gone.
No, I'm so
He doesn't get a charisma roll?
You see his feathers just floating about here and there. And there's just this black smudge on the ground. Okay. It bursts through. Annalise, Dr. Bat, and Cray. You all get to go. What do you want to do? Whoops.
I want to try and grab some of these snow globes, but as they're falling, I want to like duck and like jump and make sure that they don't break. I can't have another genocide on my hands.
Give me a dex to see if you can grab any of these.
It's a fail. 16. It's the
You
first fail of the
reach-
game too.
You reach, you dive, and you get one, you're like, and it smashes and cracks on the ground, and you just see all these small little people spill out like they're just washing in the, like they're swimming in the ocean. There's a big wave just deposits them on the ground, and then and they're all looking up at you. Hey, as one of the boots of the Terminutter just smashes on a whole group of them as they're getting up and shaking off.
Give it a second. They'll expand. Just give it a second.
Okay. Dr. Bad or Annalise, what do you want to do?
Annalise is pulling tight, so she's like kind of yanking on, kind of this tripcord that she's created to see if she can catch it.
Give me a strength test to see if you can hold on to this thing as the force of this Terminator comes moving through.
Yeah,
okay.
15 over 11.
So this thing will, as its leg goes into the tripwire, it just yanks you forward, and you're holding on, you just kind of go flying. It tangles up, but it doesn't fully trip. You see like its marching steps just get slightly kind of off key, and it does kind of wobble, but it doesn't like make it prone. It just kind of gets it a little bit off kilter, and you kind of start sliding around behind it as you're holding onto your hook. Dr. Bad, what would you like to do?
It's time to do the maneuver we like to call the monkey flip, where you intentionally slide yourself on your back towards him, feet first. Get your feet up into its belly, and then prop it up using the strength of your legs, roll backwards, and push up with your legs to kick him out the window.
Okay. So this is a maneuver. So the side most at risk makes a save to avoid consequences on a combat maneuver. I think the one that's most at risk is the one that's at risk getting thrown out the window. So I think he's got to make the save as opposed to you, because you have done all the setup. So let me go and roll that for him. He does, again, this is going to be, I'm going to make this a dex save, I think, as opposed to a strength, because it is more about balance, I think, than it is about pure strength. So... okay, so it's really just 50-50 for him because he's got 18 strength, so it'd be way too easy. So here we go.
While you're rolling that, welcome raiders from Neon Lich Studios.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Merry Oddmas to you. That is a 3, Dr. Bad. So he passes his save. You're not I'll say you get him right up against the window, but on this turn, you don't get him fully pushed out the window. But he's lingering.
Oh, I should have skipped leg day.
Okay.
I worked so hard to get on my pectorals all pumped.
And he is ridiculously heavy. His glowing eyes, you can see, are now like face to face with you. And it's his turn as he goes before Bree and Mullen. So... oh God, I finally get to do something. Okay, you are right next to him. So you see his snapping jaws open up. And he snaps down right on you. Okay, so this is going to be, oh God.
I've made a huge mistake.
Oh God, that's 10 points of damage. You take 10 points of damage as I roll a lolly on it. It's a D10 and I rolled a 10. It's 10 points of damage.
Okay.
You've been terminated.
How does that work? How are you looking on HP?
Oh, I mean, I only had 2 HP. So
so you take
a chunk out of my strength.
Okay. So you need to roll a strength save to see if you stay conscious now.
And when you roll the save, is it against your core value or against your adjusted?
It's the new value. It's the adjusted value, yeah.
Oh.
If I get a 5 out of 5, is that a pass, or do you have to beat it?
Meets it's good. Yeah. Okay.
God.
So
God.
you just feel like you're like this jaw just clenched down on you, and it feels like you're about to just get smushed like a freaking tomato.
Because it could be something that was called earlier in the session. Can it be crunching on my head?
Yeah.
Because I promised I would not get another head wound.
And it you just hear, and Bree, you're right next to it. You just hear the sounds of his skull just go. Is you're pretty sure.
Make him forget again.
His cranium. Dr. Bad, memories just completely disappear from you. Bree, it's your turn. It's you and Mullen, but let's say you go as Ashley had to step away. So Bree, you're right at this window. It is chomping on Dr. Bad. What would you like to do?
I would like to do the thing I had plans to do, but I'm hoping it'll work, which is to use my whip to try and catch this dude and pull him out the window.
Okay.
On Jeremy's stupid slide.
Okay. This is going to be, I think in this case, I'm going to ask you to do, because it's busy, I'm going to ask you to do a strength test. And we'll see if this strength is enough to just pull him away from Dr. Bad and out the window.
Okey-doke. So my strength is a 14. I rolled an 11.
Okay. You pull Dr. Bad away. You can see Dr. Bad's head just like pops right out of the jaw. And it's like his skull is kind of a little bit misshapen here and there. As you see, like everything's just not quite where it used to be. And
I don't know if you got Jeremy getting another head wound.
As Bree, you're pulling, you manage to right over top of that black smudge where Macaulay Culkin used to be, as the Terminator goes falling out the window, its eyes going bright red and firing, and it smashes there at the bottom. But Bree, as you're looking at it, like it's in multiple pieces. You see like the different mechanical parts are starting to like move their way closer and start to re-stitch themselves, like, and this like swirl of purple mist is kind of bringing it all back together. You would say it's doing what you heard from Jerry, that it's healing itself. Okay, so you guys have successfully gotten knocked out, not just Terminutter out the window. You've made a lot of noise in doing so. Dr. Bad's head looks crooked. His eyes are darting around. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, so...
No. Before Cray does anything, Annalise is going to grab the other snow globe and wrap it up safely.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do.
One snow globe remains.
Don't believe you.
Okay. You have a snow globe filled with people. Yes.
Okay.
Mullen comes out of from behind the partition. Oh, my darling. As she goes to try and help, re-lump his head. Yeah. Greg, can you give me one of your juicy berries for my husband?
Yeah,
thank
they're
you, kind
crystals, and they're very firm, but you could pound it in. I hand her a sugar crystal.
Okay, eat this. It's delicious.
It is the most delicious thing ever. You are a vision. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Dr. Bad.
I'm glad when we get to meet all over again.
51st odd misses.
She likes that.
First odd miss.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, goodness. Dr. Bad, roll a d4, take that amount of HP back. You guys, You could rest, but it's very dangerous to. You made a lot of noise, so if you rest it now.
We need to find someplace else to squirrel away for a little while, maybe.
You made a lot of noise knocking a Terminator out a window. Yeah. So.
Yeah. We have to find the witch.
We have to go.
We should not be here. Do you want me to hold that globe?
No. Lead the way, Cray. Go.
I lead the way.
And you hear a crunch, and you look down, and you can see that there is a village inn that you just stepped on and is now in 1,000 pieces.
I don't look down.
Okay.
I don't look
Everyone
down.
else looks
I hear
down
the crunch.
and sees there's.
I feel the crunch.
You hear, and you race out. Okay, so.
Right, so we're the bad guys in this show, correct?
Oh, no, darling. You are our bad boy, but you are here to...
bad.
Yes.
It's your first name, Dr. Feelbad.
Dr. Feelbad. That's his first name. Feel.
He's the one that's going to make you feel bad.
Oh, God. Okay. No. You guys glossing over. You guys walk through a unnervingly pristine hall. Polished candy glass floors reflecting these distorted images of you. None of you look quite right, except Dr. Bad. where his head actually looks like it's properly shaped in the distorted images of the glass. You pass through this room where you can see these pools of like this sickly sweet syrup just kind of bubbling in basins all along the walls. And I need, who hasn't done one yet? Ashley, Mullen, give me a D6.
Can do that. Here you go. 6.
Okay.
I'm scared.
No, 6 is fine. There doesn't appear to be anyone in this room. You just see these bubbling vats, and you see a set of like these curved stairs that seem to go up from within an alcove. There's also a hall that seems to go back towards these ornate double doors that you think might be kind of going towards the interior or the lower levels that you bypass by climbing. But you see this spiraling stair going up, and you see these vats around you, and you don't see anyone in this chamber. What do you want to do?
It does sound like we need to go up.
Okay.
But what are these vats?
Are they filled with like purple witchy magic?
When you go over to them, no, it actually looks like bubbling syrup.
Interesting.
And you'll hear
Stick the
Annalise
finger in,
start to...
taste it.
It burns as it's bubbling syrup, but you can take
Is he
one
a charisma
point.
check, though?
Make a charisma check to see if you take it out. You take 1 HP of damage as you burn your finger as it comes out.
It's a nat 20 on the charisma check.
that sir fucking hates you.
You see like a goo covered pair of arms reach up, hug you, and pull you into the vat. And you see Cray start thrashing around inside of the syrup. What do you guys do?
I will use my whip to help pull him out of this nasty concoction.
Give me a strength test.
Is she doing the 1d8 damage to me if she hits?
No, I'm not that
6
cruel.
under 14 or over
You-
14.
No.
I
You
pass.
wrap the licorice around his ankle and you pull him out. He goes flopping down onto the surface. He's coated now in syrup. I am, however, going to give you damage now to being partially coated in bubbling syrup. So in
good
addition to the one you already took, take 3 more points of damage for a total of 4 points of damage.
Okay. I did have 6 hit points, so I'm down to 2.
Okay, you're good to go then. You're still up. No strength test necessary. Strength save. Okay.
I deserve that. That's karma, but it's okay. We're going to accept our mistakes and move on. Is this thing trying to get out of the syrup, or is it back in?
No, it doesn't seem like it's crawling out. It just tried to grab you, and you can see the surface is a little bit disturbed now, but it's not trying to climb out. No.
I suggest we do not disturb the syrup, and we just let the syrup be.
Annalise is looking for any kind of like machinery or something that would kind of show what's in the vat. Like, is there one of those kind of, screens at some point, or like a clipboard or something that like gives an identifier?
This doesn't look like a particularly industrial room. It looks more like a witchy room. Like vats bubbling, reflective, strange reflective surfaces, swirling bits of mist. It doesn't really look machine-like to you.
Well, hopefully whenever we can take care of the witch, maybe it'll address this area here as well, and we can save them. Mullen, do you think we should keep going up?
They did say we're looking for the engine. And apparently there are dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't worry. Just throw the snow globe down. That'll distract them.
No!
Kibbles and bits. Okay. You guys go up the stairs?
Yeah.
What did the syrup taste
Continuing
like?
up the stairs.
It tasted like maple syrup.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good to go up then.
Yep. And human flesh. So you start climbing up these steps. And eventually you come to a kind of a dark hall where all of the reflective surfaces that you've seen thus far kind of shifts. And now it's like this dark wood. You see like this double set of doors flung wide open at the end of the hall. And inside you hear the sounds of like machinery whirring and ticking. Let's see. Who hasn't done one yet? I can't remember. Melissa, give me a d6.
1.
Okay. When you... Oh, God. That's the worst. Okay.
Oh, no.
When you come to the doubles doors and you look inside, you can see it's a throne room. You can see polished wood, polished gold. You can see this enchanted candelabra kind of hanging from the ceiling. You can see at the far end of the room, the Nutcracker King's throne rises like some kind of mechanical monstrosity. It's just gross amalgamation of gears and wood and candy. You also notice that the room is suffused with this like relentless ticking. And you look off to the side and you can see what you assume is the Nutmender engine, this contraption dominating one corner. It's pulsing this glow, this purplish glow into the hall, and it has these like harsh rhythmic bursts where it just... You also notice that the Nutcracker King himself, a Terminutter, but a little taller. The clothing that has been painted on his wood shapes is a little bit more refined. Ruffles. You can see what appears to be like insignias suggesting a higher rank, and a painted golden crown atop his head. He is currently carrying what appears to be some kind of candy-striped scepter. And he is looking into this table where this swirling view of like purple, casts a glow onto his face, and he's like calling commands down, like telling which way this squad is going to go, or that group, where to send reinforcements. You get the feeling that he's literally directing troops at the Crumbs Deep massacre, war, whatever you want to call it. But you also notice, because Melissa rolled a 1, oh god, that there are two Terminators flanked on either side of the throne, standing at attention, watching, waiting. You have a moment to do something. What would you like to do?
Annalise, if you roll that globe, not the one with the people in it, the other one, and if you roll that across the room, it'll distract the Terminators, and we can sneak past, and we can get to that machine, and we can break it and turn it off.
I can be a distraction again. I can do that. It'll only last for a little bit. I think it's worth a try. And you just kind of just hear her start to, do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? And you see this like second version of her appearing off to the side of the room.
All right, where do you want to manifest yourself, your double?
So I'm trying to get them to look, let's say left, if we can go right, basically. So whichever, kind of getting their heads to turn, in a way that we can kind of try to come in the backside.
Okay. There's really no backside. You guys are looking like directly into a lengthy throne room, though.
And that's kind of what I was imagining. So like, just she's going like left wall, so that we can try to sneak in right wall. Okay.
You see, as you manifest, the Nutcracker King looks over. Yoda! Who are you? Intruder! Get her! And he kind of like lifts this like rigid arm with the scepter in her direction, and you see one of the Terminators over by the throne starts walking across, and it's like big marching legs coming up, charging at her. You've lured one away. What are the rest of you doing?
I know there's no place to really hide, but I want to try.
There's no place to hide. It's just like there's no back way in or anything like that.
Are there like columns and like drapes maybe or something like that?
I like columns, tapestry, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'd like to just go from shadow to shadow as best I can. I want to try and sneak around them. I know it'll get a little iffy there once I'm close to them, but I want to get to that machine and try to throw a wrench in the gears.
Okay. I'm going to say give me a dex as you're in great deal of danger of being discovered as you try to move quietly throughout the room.
Last roll was a nat 20. This one's a nat 1.
Okay. As he lifts his arm, the king, and points in the direction, both the Terminators turn towards Annalise. One walks off, but you take that moment to slip off to the right, and you quickly get behind these hanging curtains along the wall, and you are not even remotely seen. Okay. Bree, Dr. Bad, Mullen, what are the three of you doing?
How far are they away
draw
from
the other one if the two of you can make your way to the machine? All right.
Let's just say what we're doing. Let's just play it out. So what is Bree doing?
Bree's gonna step out and will pull out her tragic diary and launch into a bit of a soliloquy about how these screams must be a symphony of despair, and try and draw as much attention to her being loud and melodramatic as she can be.
You hear the king whips his whole body, because he can't turn his head, whips his whole body in your direction, and you say, "What? Enough with that terrible racket! Poetry is for academics. We are not academic." And points a scepter in your direction, and you see the other Terminator activate and begins stomping across the throne room in the direction of Bree. Dr. Bad, what do you want to do?
I know we should go for the machine, but we've established that Dr. Bad's MO is go for the biggest, nastiest thing in the room. And he does seem possibly distracted. So I'm going to try and get up behind him if I can. Maybe I have to sneak.
I'm not going to give you a distract on this because you're literally walking
honestly,
directly at him.
I'm better off with the Vindicator. The Vial Driver doesn't actually do any benefit anyways.
Okay, so you're just going to charge at the
2d6.
2d6 is better anyways.
I don't get it. It seems weird, but I do think 2d6 plus 1d12 is absurdly high damage for Electric Bastionland. That's,
I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, that's like four different people's attack damage.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's meant to be like roll both and take the better. I have no clue. But I'm not even going to worry about it.
I have no idea. You charge in, so we're going to say you're charging at the king, and then Mullen, what are you doing? We're going to do initiative in a second. So
is going for the engine.
Okay, so are you just racing there, or are you going to do like Cray and try to sneak there?
She is going to skid on her shell, so it is nothing fancy whatsoever. She's going for speed and to do damage.
Okay, going for speed.
For speed.
You're all alone. Time of need. Okay, I'm gonna have cake in my head for the rest of the night. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, everyone. Go ahead and give me Dex tests for now. You're all in the room. I want Dex tests to see: do you go before or do you go after? Now this is initiative. Who gets to go first? Okay.
Failed for Annalise.
Failed
Annalise.
for Cray.
Oh boy. Okay.
Nice job, Ashley.
Success for Bree.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
Success. That was a 3.
Oh, nice. Okay, so Bree's going to go beforehand. Dr. Bad's going to go beforehand. And then Mullen,
I got
did you?
7. I'm going.
Nice.
Okay. Under 8. Very cool.
Okay.
We're flipping the initiative from last
Awesome.
time. Yeah?
It is. It's literally, yeah. Well, it's pretty close. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Bree, Doctor. So the bottom row, you get to go first.
Okay.
Call it out if you know what you're doing. Dr. Bat, are you just going to charge and try to attack
He
the
had
king?
his arm extended with the scepter, so I think it's going to be the
Yeah.
initial thing is kind of grab the arm, do an arm drag to like pull him to the ground, and try and pull it up behind him.
Okay, go right ahead. Roll your damage.
Okay. You know, it's okay.
It's very good. He does have armor. You get the sense that not all of that goes through, but that definitely. And he's like, to me, attendance to me. And you see, like, in the room, like, all of the Terminators that are kind of going off in the direction of Annalise and Bree. And they kind of turn and their whole body's back in the direction of where Dr. Baz is attacking the king.
I've made
Bree,
a huge mistake.
or Mullen. You guys are great. There's no such thing as a mistake. Bree and Mullen, what are you doing next?
I'd like to run out of the throne room and with the intention of leading this dude and go into the room with the vats. My intention is to try and get him to follow me into the vat room and try and push one of the vats with the boiling syrup. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
I know that's your intention, but the king was just calling them to him, and they both turned in the direction. The king is now under attack.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not possible, but you would need to devise some
totally
way
feasible.
to lure him.
In that case, then can I change what I would like to do?
Absolutely.
Then I'm gonna turn around and just launch my licorice whip at him.
At the king or at the Terminator?
At the Terminator.
Okay, go right ahead. A Terminutter, please. We
Terminator.
don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't want
Sorry,
James
sorry.
Cameron on my ass here.
Sorry.
Or do you?
I always wanted James Cameron on my ass. That's why I got this tattoo. Guys want to see it?
Kinda.
It's a boat. Man
It's
loves
just an
boats.
arrow. An arrow, James Cameron.
Oh god.
So,
All
man,
right.
am I giving you a strength roll or
No, you just give me a
a
damage. So this game, you don't roll to hit unless you're trying to do a maneuver of some kind. If you're just trying to do damage, just roll your damage.
Sweet. I rolled a 7 on the d8.
Excellent.
Nice.
These do have armor, so all that damage does not go through,
Sure.
but some of it does. Okay. And so you've got Bree just cracking this whip in the direction of the Terminator that just now like walking in its marching steps back towards where the king is being attacked. Dr. Bat is gone. Bree is gone. Mullen, what are you doing?
I am just trying to fuck up this engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you like Koopa slide all the way across the room,
Yes.
smash into the machine, and you kind of like pop out of it. You are standing. You didn't really make any stealth attempts, so likely they're going to notice you. But
Yeah.
you're looking at the machine, and it's just like what it looks like is one kind of large, kind of walnut shaped sphere. And then you can see that there is kind of like a ring that goes around it. And it's like, and you don't see that it's like there's anything connecting the ring to the walnut sphere, but you do see this kind of swirling vortex of purple. So, Mullen, what are you trying to do?
Mullen just kind of, this isn't like an actual power that she has or anything, but she kind of like pulls at that like gingerbread spirits, because she ate an entire village of deceased gingerbread people at one time.
We're aware. Yeah, the
And-
Gingerfolk will ask for a reckoning one day.
That's she's prepared. This is why partially why she took this job. She needs to give them their retribution.
Yeah, they
And so-
thought they were teleporting to other Gingerfolk, but they teleported to you.
Exactly.
Because you haven't-
because
Yeah, it's
Yes.
been a year. You haven't had a movement in a
haven't-
while.
they haven't digested whatsoever.
You've been constipated
Turtle
for the last
digestion is
365 days.
She's gonna but as she does so, she's gonna grab at that purple ring and just
Sure.
try and separate it from the walnut, like forcefully with
I would like a strength test then, if that's the case.
Okay.
Or strength save, I should say, as you do feel this effect kind of repelling you somewhat.
Okay. Oh no, 15 and I needed a 14.
Okay, you reach down, you go to pull at it, and as you do, you feel this wave of force as the purple swirls just kind of throw you off of it, and you go flying through the air. And I'm going to say you land prone on the ground. You're not next to any enemies currently, and no one seems to be immediately attentive to you. But what that does do is you see the Nutcracker King. Ah! The Nutmender! They're trying to destroy the Nutmender! As they are now aware of your attempts. Then it's their turn. So we've got Terminator A, we've got Terminator B, we've got the
Terminutter?
Terminutter, thank you. But I wanted to get James Skinner on my ass. All right.
You do want him at this point.
I think I do. Okay. So with that in mind, Terminator B is going to eyes light up, and it's going to look down at where Mullen has just slid across the floor, and you see these laser fly down in her direction, and you are going to take some damage. You're going to take 4 points of damage, Mullen, as you feel the heat of one of these beams coming out of their eyes. Then Terminator A is going to... Let's see. Terminator A was attacked by Bree. I think Terminator A is going to, as you're, whipping, it's going to grab the whip with its free hand, and it's going to pull you towards it and jab at you with the bayonet.
Nice.
Okay. That's 6 points of damage to Bree. Okay, so Bree, I'm not sure if you know this, so you deplete from HP first.
Yeah.
And if you run out of HP, let me know.
Which I do, because I have to.
Okay, so how much? You only had 2 HP? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you take 4 points of strength damage, so reduce your strength by 4.
Yeah.
And then roll a strength test to see if you stay conscious.
Okie doke. I do just 9 under 10.
It just misses, literally impaling you through your chest, and just kind of catches you on the side instead.
God
Tries to lift you, but you fall off.
That's the coolest combat moment too. Dare you use it against me, Jeff?
Sorry. Then the Nutcracker King is going to, as you grab the arm and you try to bend it back, there's no bend in these arms. So as you pull, you're just kind of turning his body, and he just eventually just wrenches free, holds his scepter up. By the powers of the Sugar Plum Witch, I smite thee! And brings this down right on top of your head. And you see this explosion of purple just erupt across the room.
Oh dear.
I deserve this.
Dr. Bad, you take 9 points of damage. And then everybody else, but Mullen, go ahead and make a dex save.
I was hiding. Does that count?
It is to keep your footing as this AoE comes out and threatening to just knock you over. Mullen, you're already on the ground, so you don't have to worry about it.
Fail.
Okay,
Fail.
so you kind of stumble down.
Real.
All of you just stumble prone. You don't take any damage, but this shockwave. Dr. Bad, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, really bad.
Okay, how bad is really bad?
If I roll a 2, I might stay up.
Okay, give it a roll.
Well, you don't have to, because you only do that when you go under your strength.
For the first
so,
time?
you took damage. Yeah, it's just for the first time.
Okay.
When you, I'm pretty sure.
Because you gave me the thing to heal me up, so I don't know if I have to do it
You
again.
had HP again? No.
Yeah.
I think you do need a roll though.
Yeah. No, I mean I
think you need a roll.
Yeah, it would make sense.
No. I rolled a 19.
So what does it look like as it smashes the scepter on top of your head and you go out? So you describe it, Jeremy.
I think it just transmutes him.
Okay.
Like it basically hits him and he turns into like this purplish statue sort of thing. Just little sugar crystals everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And you're like holding in the head is like kind of like almost turtle inside of the collar. It's like your kind of head gets smushed down. Okay. Meanwhile, Cray and Annalise, it is now your turn. Cray, you're trying to get to the machine, right?
Which was behind the throne, right?
Yeah, it's like off in the corner behind the throne. Mullen like jetted out across it, but then she got like flung back from it. So
would it be okay to say that I changed my trajectory because Mullen went for it, and after she's going for it, I don't think we need two of us on it.
Okay, yeah. Where do you want to go?
So I have an item that I don't think I've ever actually used it in our 3 sessions. I have a nodding holder, which is essentially a muzzle for birds, and it makes them nod yes or no to questions. I want to take this muzzle, and the Nutcracker King has been giving orders to everyone this whole time, and I don't expect it to actually fit him. But I want to like just jump on him and try to like throw it over his mouth or like under his mouth so it can't go up and down to try and like keep him from giving more orders.
Okay. I would like a dex save for this. This is a lot of danger as you leap up.
Yeah.
If you succeed, I'm not only going to say he can no longer direct traffic for a round. I'll say he's blinded for a round, and I'll give him disadvantage on his attacks on the next round.
That is a success. That's a 4 under 13.
Okay, so that's like
blindness! What foul sorcery is this? Why does this smell like bird shit?
And then
the Inquisition sends their regards.
Inquisition!
And it is Annalise's turn.
Okay, so Annalise and her other one were singing.
Yeah.
And so as long as they're singing, they stay. Okay. So what she wants to do is to keep singing. Do you hear what I hear? And she's gonna like throw the one end of the hook to her other one. And she wants to see if they can try to like encircle one of these Terminutters, so that it's sort of like wrapped a bit. So like I'm sure it'll be able to break free, but just to try to kind of slow it down a little bit.
Okay. You want to call us like a combat maneuver to see if you can like knock it prone, if you can trip it again? You want to try that?
Yeah, that works.
I would say probably a dex save to prevent anything bad from happening to you. That would probably make the most sense. So you're moving quickly.
I rolled an 11 and my dex is 11, so
That's good.
Meets it.
Terminator B, which is so the one that Bree has been attacking is Terminator A. Terminator B is the one that shot the lasers out of its eyes at Mullen. You race over to that one, Annalise. Yeah. You knock it prone to the ground, and it teeters over. And you hear, what was that? Report! From the king. Okay.
Awesome.
That is the end of that round. So taking stock, the king has taken some damage. Terminator A has taken some damage. Terminator B has been knocked prone. Dr. Bad has turned purple and is out of the fight currently, for now, unless you guys decide to do something. Mullen, you are prone near the machine. Cray, you are the closest one to the king. And all of you go ahead and roll a dex save to see if you go before or after.
Pass, go before.
Okay, excellent.
No.
We're just switching back and forth.
Okay.
We're just flip-flopping.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be Annalise and Cray's turns to go first. What do you guys want to do?
I have an idea unless you want to go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cray.
Right. Cray has spent a lifetime among birds. Some of them are mock fowl that mock people, and some of them are just parrots that copy people. I would like to do my best impression of the king. Kill your king! This is a command from your king! Kill him now!
I love that so much. Roll a charisma save to see.
My strength sucks, so I use whatever else I can.
Hell
Charisma?
yes.
You finally get your
That is
charisma
an
save.
11 under 16.
Okay, 11 under 16 is fantastic. You see the one that is in like a melee with Bree, has her with the whip. Lets go of the whip, turns and starts moving in the direction of the king. Okay. Who else? Annalise.
Okay, so now we've got so sorry, the one that just left is the one that I had.
The one you knocked over is still on the ground, prone.
Okay, that's what okay. So what I want to do is take the hook and see if I can just like jam the hook into this.
Absolutely.
Terminutter.
Yeah,
especially where that little laser thing comes out, because that can hurt people.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. Take a bonus die since you're attacking a prone target, which means you're getting a plus D8 to this damage roll. So your normal damage plus another D8.
Okay, so that's right. Let me stall because I didn't have a D8 out. That is a 6 and a 6.
So a total of 12. Okay, that is phenomenal. They do have a little bit of armor that will... I'm trying to go back and check. I think it's 2. Nope.
She just raises her hands above her, and just with all of the strength that she has, she just like lands this hook as hard as she can. You
do 11 points of damage, which is not enough to get through its HP. But you do grind the hook into it, and you hear like the scraping of the wood on the outside, but then you hear the sounds of it like interfering with like machinery. You hear as if there's some kind of engine in the inside. Okay, its turn. It will then, with you on top of it, and you're just kind of hacking into it, it's going to try to reach up with its mouth and snap jaw you.
Oh dear.
4 points of damage as it tries to bite you. Then Terminator
drops me.
Oh yeah.
So I had a 3 hit protection left, so that drops me to 0 hit protection.
Okay.
And drops me to 10 of 11 strength. So I need to roll a strength.
Yes. Check. Go ahead and roll your strength. See if you stay conscious in the fight.
I rolled a 9 under 10, so just barely.
You're still up. You have a horrific crunch of a wound. Something broke, but you are still up.
Yes.
Then Terminutter A, following the orders of its king, will attempt to kill the king, and it'll use it'll sort of come at it and try to stab it with its bayonet. That is 6 points of damage. With the king's armor, that is not enough to take it all the way down to 0 HP, though. King does not look good. That bayonet splinters part of the king's torso, and you see like the wood fall off. I am under attack! Defend me! And then it's the king's turn. The king is going to attempt to attack 50-50. I'm going to 50-50 it. High or low, Cray, on whether it attacks you
Always go
or...
low.
Okay. It was a 2. So it's going to attack the Terminutter that just attacked it. He's going to roll...
Sweet.
He's going to roll his damage, but again, he's going to do it at disadvantage because he's got the blind. So, but he's still going to do a lot of damage, probably. All right. Well, that's 5 points of damage to the Terminator. Okay. So he swings the scepter down, and you can see it crunches against one of the arms. And again, this splintering of this wood just erupts from it. It's not dead, but it has taken significant damage. And so now we come to Bree and Mullen. Bree, the one, let go of your whip and is now charged and is attacking the king. Mullen, the one that was shooting you with lasers, has been tripped, and Annalise has climbed the top of it and is hacking away at it. Bree or Mullen, who wants to do something?
Ash, if you have something, go ahead. I was just gonna run to the king and start attacking. But if you have something more complicated,
Go
all
for it, girl. Elvis
then
is
I'm
working.
gonna do that.
Okay.
I'll run up to the king and take a swing.
Okay, and I'm gonna say because he's blinded for this round, for this round, take a bonus die. So it's an extra D8 to your attack damage. So roll your normal damage plus a D8.
Hell yes.
As he cannot
Technically, he was
properly
blinded
defend.
the last round. You said that was when it happened. So
No, it
just
actually
being the
it
negative
actually
here.
happened this round. You went before him. You went at the beginning.
I didn't
of the
blind
round
him
and
this
blinded
round.
him.
Yeah.
I blinded him last
Yeah.
round, and then I mimicked him this round.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So then, never mind. Don't take that bonus damage.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm working against you. I'm sorry.
No. Listen, man. It makes sense.
I
this
told
point-
Duck Norris I have no loyalty to anyone.
No, I know, and at least you know the word genocide because that's what you did. To,
Duck Norris is in a better
Did.
place.
I gotta.
Duck
He really
Norris
is.
in a much,
Much
better
better
place.
He's in a much better place.
With
I got a 5.
Would you roll my turn?
5.
Right.
Okay, that is enough to put him into to take him down his HP. So his HP goes down to 0, and then I'm gonna roll a strength test to see if this knocks him out. That is an 18 on the die, and with the reduction of strength, you actually take him out. Bree, describe what it looks like as you
Yes.
take out the king. And the only reason, by the way, because he has an 18 strength, so you actually knocked him under his HP. You took him down a peg of strength, and that one peg of strength means he failed to strengthen. So describe it.
Nice.
Fuck. What? Oh, okay. See, I think she is bolstered by the tragedy of Dr. Bad being lost to Mullen, and that sorrow kind of oddly rejuvenates her, and she lashes out her liquor strip with tears running down her face as she says, "Oh, cruel fate, why must you take another lover from us in this endless symphony of suffering?" And she launches her liquor through her face.
And you see like the king wobbles and then falls. His head slams against the table that has that swirling battlefield display, and you hear as like the splintering of the wood of the neck and the head, and it clambers down. The scepter goes tumbling. You hear like the sounds of like an alarm go off with the Terminators nearby. Malfunction. And they just start like wildly swinging at everything at this point without the king to direct him. Which brings us to Mullen. Mullen, you look down at the king and you can see the restitching has already started. And it seems to be healing. What do you want to do about this Nutmender engine?
Yeah, she's gonna just again try
Do you have anything?
I have the licorice whip.
Okay. You have any other items?
I can breathe underwater. I have a shucking shell. I'm too dry, so my melee attacks get plus 1d6 against any living creature or living thing that can't swim. There's a scepter on the ground that I could
There is.
potentially snatch.
Okay.
You just like toss pieces and like, or is
Yeah,
that too
so
analog?
I
I
think
like the scepter.
Mullen will snatch the scepter.
Okay. As you grab the scepter, you kind of feel this like tinge of energy just come through you. Your eyes just suddenly go purple, and like you feel like this surge of sorcery kind of just go through you, and like all of a sudden, like Neo in the Matrix, this understanding of magic just, and you know exactly the incantation you need to say to shut the Nutmender engine down. What is it, Mullen? What is that incantation? What do you say?
You better not shout. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why Mullen is shutting you down.
Yay! The incantation had her name in it. Different Mullen.
It has to be the caster's name.
The ticking stops. You see the spinning of the ring stops and just falls. The walnut falls and cracks and starts rolling across the ground. And you notice as you look down at the king that the wood is no longer restitching itself. And now as like the Terminators are just like wildly thrashing about. They're not even like attacking anyone in particular, but each time they smash into something, they hurt like their arm splinters, and they look confused. There's this lack of understanding as that they're just kind of like going through this strange like throes of death as they're not fully understanding what has just transpired. Let's narrate it this way: as you have defeated the Nutcracker King, you've gained his scepter. You have destroyed or diffused the Nutmender engine. Even now, looking down at the table, the vision of Crumbs Deep, you can see that the same thing that's happening here to these Terminators is happening down on the battlefield. You can see they're turning on each other. Some are just wandering into the darkness. Others, you can see these guerrilla fighters of Gingerfolk come pouring out and like are taking them down like Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, right? They're just ripping them down, smashing them to bits. You know the tide has turned. You don't know where the Sugar Plum Witch was. However, it does seem as though you have been victorious. How do we end this? What's the last thing we do?
Is it too late to save Dr. Bad?
No, it is not. He just has 2 HP. He's not dead. He's got 2 HP left.
He's just down. Okay,
as Mullen, because he's frozen, right? Like in
he's frozen. Yeah.
Crystals.
Yeah, he's been consumed with. He's got like this purplish crystalline nature. He's encased in purple carbonite. He'll be very safe.
Can I try my ethical vampirism to see if I can get rid of that condition?
Do you have any? How would you try to get rid of the condition?
I chewing through the candy layer.
It's incredibly sweet, but you're able to and eventually like you start with the face maybe so that he can breathe.
Stop and the face. Why? No.
Suddenly, we see the face of Dr. Bad.
You are very aware.
Yeah, his eyes are just bulging and he's watching you chew the candy away from his face.
You get like halfway across his face, and Mullen's like, once you get his mouth free, Mullen's like, let me try. And then while she's holding the scepter, she gives him a kiss to try and like suck the rest of the spell out into the scepter.
And I'll say that's exactly what happens is you see like the purple kind of starts to melt and it begins to just sort of pull and suck into that crystalline purple end to the scepter. And Dr. Bad,
I don't know
like,
who you
stumbles.
are, but woman, you are magnificent and I'm yours.
You
in
have
the background. Cray had one of those sugar crystals and he was gomming it up and ready to baby bird it into Dr. Bad because that's the only way he knows how to.
Oh no!
But when he's healed, he just
you like lined up right behind him. You spit it in.
Good. Okay, I was gonna go a different route, but that's okay.
Absolutely horrific. Like these really terrible things that everybody's doing to Derby.
And at least you want to kiss him too. Like we're just lining up at this point.
And when you look around, Annalise isn't there.
So where'd Annalise go?
So, because Annalise, I'm assuming, looked at the snow globe that she still has, and the people are still inside the snow globe?
They are indeed.
Oh. So, while they're attending to Dr. Bad, Annalise is going back down to see if she can find where the witch is.
Okay. So as Annalise rushes off, we see this swirling bit of cinnamon begin to start manifesting in the room. You hear the voice of Mother Ginger. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. The tide of battle is turned. If you wish to escape, step through. We shall protect you. And you just see like it grows bigger and bigger. Do you guys chase after Elise? Or do you go into the portal?
In our own way. I'd go through towards
Let's
the
hit the portal.
Gingerfolk.
Okay.
The door.
Okay. Dr. Bad, Mullen.
I'll go wherever this
portal.
transfixing woman goes.
We do have a wedding to attend.
We do. That sounds wonderful. I love weddings.
And
It's your
so,
own wedding.
so as Mullen and Dr. Bad step through, as Annalise disappears back to search for the Sugar Plum Witch, we will end it there. That is the end of Terminutter 2 Judgment Sleigh. Our
I
third
had one more
annual.
thing, maybe like a mid-credit scene
Okay,
Ooh, okay.
mid-credit scenes.
where we see Craig creating a new Avian Prime account and ordering Penguendolyn Christie.
That's
Oh my
fantastic.
god.
That's fantastic.
20
Okay.
minutes.
I love it. All right. Well, that is it. Another year has passed. You have saved once more the Winter Realm, but what consequences, unforeseen, shall arise to force your hand next year? We'll just have to find out in roughly
Yes.
365
Well.
days.
I
Yeah.
love
And
this.
Melissa just wants to play a new character every year. That's why Annalise wants to go off.
I love making characters.
That
in
might
this.
Yeah,
be
it's fun.
what calls us.
It's a lot of fun.
I
Yeah.
agree.
All right. Well, that's it for us. So let's go ahead. Let's do some closing plugs. Let's start with our good friend, our good pal, Maitre. Tell us where we can find you on the internet.
I am Maitre Plays Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers the GM and player experience that you should check out if you feel like checking out.
Wonderful. The links will be in the description of this video or this podcast feed. If you are listening, you can find everyone's stuff. Let's see who else. Anyone? Oh, Steven, you've got something. What's going on, man?
I think Jeremy has something.
Just
No,
love and respect for everybody, most everybody here.
we won't ask the follow-up
job.
question because I think we already know. Steven, go right ahead.
I think Ashley has something.
No. It's you. You're up.
Yeah, I've made a tabletop RPG called Huckleberry. It's a Weird West game. If you like horror, if you like action, if you like Hellboy, if you like Tombstone, it's the right game for you. We are hard at work on some content updates. We should have them coming out by January, as long as the deadline gods hold true. So yeah, there's no better time to jump in. You get a whole bunch of free updates as you go, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Fantastic, man. HuckleberryRPG.com. Link again is in the description. Okay, as for us, what do we got coming up? Tomorrow, Saturday, we don't have our normal Call of Cthulhu slot. Instead, 3 hours earlier than we normally would be playing on Saturday, we're going to be playing some Discworld. We're doing a special one-shot Discworld. Richard from over our good friends at Garblag is going to be coming and running a handful of us through a little one-shot of the game. So come hang out with us then. Monday next week, I think we're on on schedule to do some Otherscape. But other than Otherscape on Monday, we're probably off Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, I think. We're hoping to be back for Call of Cthulhu next week. But check the Discord. And I'll make updates to the schedule as needed. But that's it. Thank you, everyone who is watching this live. We really appreciate you joining with us. Thank you to all of you who are watching this later. Merry Oddmas, happy holidays, whatever it is you're celebrating. Enjoy, have fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
God bless.
Merry Oddmas.
Merry Oddmas.